to Clinton Maroons. Josh Wilson with a short TD for Clinton, and they're up on top 22-20 early in the third quarter. Then Nate Sams, watch this play. On the pass to Ryan Schumacher, takes it down the sidelines, pulls about a Deion Sanders as he holds the ball up before he gets to the end zone, and he finally gets in there. And it was 29-20 after the extra point, and it was Clinton beating Warrensburg Latham, but the final was 36-20. 36-20 Clinton.
Welcome you to Warrensburg Latham High School here in Warrensburg, Illinois, for tonight's Clinton Maroon action on WHOW-FM and also on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10. This is Larry Dooling, along with Joe Spencer, here live at the football field, and the band on the field right now as we get ready for this ball game coming up very shortly between these two OCA Conference teams. Joe, the teams with pretty comparable records. The Maroons come into this ball game with a 4-3 record. The Cardinals of Warrensburg Latham stand at 3 wins against 4 defeats, and the Maroons need this one to keep their playoff hopes alive here tonight.
Oh yeah, it's no big secret. They have to get this one nailed down, and it's a win that they badly need, as we all know. And Warrensburg's got plenty of need to win this game too. Well, just because of the Maroons beat them by 30 last year, they're going to get pumped up for this game, and I don't think it'll be easy.
Yeah, these two teams played at Clinton last year, and the Maroons had a pretty easy time with that ball game, played very well. It was early in the season. Now we're meeting the Cardinals late in the season, the next to the last ball game of the season, and the Maroons starting to get it back together after struggling a little bit toward the middle portion of the season when, of course, we dropped that ball game to St. Teresa, a game in which the Maroons didn't play all that badly but came out on the short end. And then, of course, the game at Sullivan, which really put some hurt on us, put us with 3 losses on the year, and put our backs to the wall. But the Maroons have bounced back with wins at Meridian, and, of course, last week's ball game, a good win against a Maroa Forsyth team at home, at homecoming. So they seem to be putting things back together a little bit better on offense here as of late, and we hope that can carry over in this ball game here tonight. Warrensburg, at times, has given up some points to some of their opponents this year. Yeah,
last week they got beat by Monticello 44-22, and the Maroons' offense are really solving their problems. I think last week they did a good job against Maroa. With Maroa's line, Maroa was supposed to push around the Maroons all night long, and they just didn't do that. The Maroons, once again, had a successful night along those lines, and they put up some points on the board and beat a Maroa team that they had thought that the OCA Conference was easy, and the Maroons gave them their first loss in the conference last week.
We're about 5 or 6 minutes away from the start of the ball game, and now the Warrensburg Latham band with the playing of our national anthem. Like at this point it's going to be a pretty good night for football here, Joe. The weather conditions aren't too bad. The temperatures are unseasonably warm here in the middle of October. There is a possibility of rain moving in from the west later on this evening. We're hoping, of course, that it holds off until after the conclusion of the ball game. We're kind of selfish about that because we're on top of the booth here and we don't want to get soaked. But we hope that it holds off for the teams on the field also. But it'll be almost a warm night for football here tonight at Warrensburg Latham on senior night for here at the Cardinals home field.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night. Before the game, there's a little fog rolling in, but it's vanished, and it looks like it's a pretty good night for football. Though you're right, it might be a little warm for the players down on the field, but for the fans, it couldn't get much better.
We've talked about Warrensburg Latham being a football team that has shown the ability to give up some points, but also they've shown the ability to score some points in some ball games this year, Joe. And apparently it's their rush offense that puts those points on the board. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, what you've been able to find out this week in preparation for this ball? Still time, 25 seconds, quick pass, here's a good ladder! The big ladder down to the 10! Crowley's out of bounds inside the 10! Rolling out left, looking downfield, airing it out for Ijams on the fly, 40-yard over the middle. Deflected, intercepted by Josh Wilson. What a great interception. He's down to the 20. It will go 10 yards. It bounces up high. The Maroons have a chance at the recovery. It's still loose on the ground. Ignus has recovered the football. Taking a lot of time. Could be the last play of the ball game. He shoots it deep for the end zone for Schumacher. Battle for the ball. He caught it! Touchdown!
Clinton Maroon football is brought to you by Clinton Chiropractic Center, Clinton IGA Food Liner, Amber Graves of Sheer Paradise, the John Warner Bank, Dave's Food Basket, Walker Tire, Ace Hardware, Cyrulic Incorporated, Illinois Power, Edward D. Jones, Subway, and Allen Chiropractic.
All right, back here live at Warrensburg Latham. They're announcing the starting lineup for this ball game. That are rolling in from the west, although they're still off in the distance right now. They may have some rain in them, so we're trying to cover things up to make sure that the equipment can last through it if it starts dumping some rain on us, because we're on top of the box here. We're also kind of looking between cameramen and stuff like that to see the play on the field, and it's going to be interesting, but that's just where we're positioned out here. The kickoff will be coming up here in a second from Tony Symington at his own 40-yard line. There's two deep men back for Warrensburg Latham. Freeburn is one of those guys. Matt Freeburn is one of those guys standing at his own 5-yard line. And here's the boot by Tony Symington as we get this game underway. The kick will be short, but Freeburn coming up. They collide. The ball's loose on the ground. Still knocked loose, battled for. And who has the recovery? The Maroons might have recovered the ball around the 23-yard line. No signal from the official, and now the Maroons have got the football. And, Joe, could you see who might have recovered that football? It was hard for me to see on the far side of the football field.
Yeah, the Maroons got it. I think either Schumacher or Jimmy Savage got on the ball.
Well, Matt Freeburn was trying to rush up from about the 5-yard line to make the catch, and one of the up men in front of him was fading back to catch the ball. The two bumped into each other, much like a couple of outfielders trying to field a fly ball, and they dropped it. So the Maroons have it first and 10 at the 23. Back to pass to Sams, going for it all in the end zone. He's got Ijones deep, and it's over his head, incomplete. There's also a flag on the play. Again, the line of scrimmage is the 23 of Warrensburg for the Cardinals. For the Maroons at the Cardinal 23-yard line. My mistake, sorry.
They ran a fly pattern down the sidelines. Good protection for Nate. Just missed him, but it will be a penalty on Warrensburg, it looks like.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. As the officials discuss it out there, they appear to be looking at the line of scrimmage and ready to mark off some yardage against the Cardinals. And they will walk off the yardage that direction, so the Maroons will be down to around the 18-yard line. Joe's shuffling his papers. That's the sound you hear over the microphone. I tell you, we're not under terrible conditions here, but there's no table to work on, and so it's difficult for him to write down his stats. A 5-yard penalty. The Maroons will run, and it's Josh Wilson spinning and pushing hard and inside the 10 and down inside the 10-yard line and has well enough for the first down. Wilson running hard, spinning through the middle. Looked like somebody tried to strip the ball out of his hands, but he held on to it and has got the first down. The Maroons will have a first and goal.
Yeah, and Wilson got a good block out from the center by Lucas Ward, and inside the 10-yard line now.
8-yard line, first and goal for the Maroons. Sams will try the middle again with Wilson, and Wilson got a couple of yards before he's grabbed and thrown down after a short gain. We'll wait for them to unravel and see just how much yardage he got. Interesting thing here, we look over this Warrensburg Latham roster, and I've already looked for two numbers, and they don't match up with what they have in print, so we might be struggling from time to time to locate their ball players. Looks like a gain of about 3 yards. We're close to the 5-yard line. We're 1 minute into the ball game. The Maroons recovering a fumble on the kickoff, and they've got second and goal at the 5-yard line. Sams will take the snap. He'll run the option left, keep it spinning, and knock down for no gain or maybe a loss of a yard on the play. They covered him well. Matt Freeburn came up there to make the tackle along with a couple of others, and they handled Sams pretty well on that option, Joe.
Yeah, they ran it to the left side that time, and the contain got to the outside for Warrensburg, and they stopped Nate before he could move it upfield. Larry, first two plays down here, the Maroons had good surge up the middle. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to go with Wilson. Or since it's 3rd and 6, maybe a pass play.
I guess it was a loss of a yard, so it's 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Graves is wide to the left. They'll try a quick pitch to Rich. He'll try to cut it toward the center after going to the right-hand side, and they shut him down in the middle of the field. The Maroons had it down to the 8-yard line and a 1st and goal, and they've yet to get in, and now it's 4th down. And we'll see what the Maroons want to do. Thad Harnett will run the play in from the sideline. Rich got a 2-yard gain. They're about at the 3.5-yard line with 4th and goal. We'll call it the 3. 4th and goal from the 3 for the Maroons. Ijones goes wide to the right-hand side. Graves is wide left. Split backfield this time. Sams will fake the handoff, then give to Rich. He gets outside, he gets around the corner, and he goes in for the touchdown. One man had a shot at him. That was Bart Hickey. But Rich dusted him off, and then he was off to the races to the right front corner of the end zone, and the Maroons are on the scoreboard. They lead 6-0 early in the ball game.
Yeah, and what made the play, Nate had a great fake to Wilson up the middle. I think a lot of players for Warrensburg thought that's who got the ball. He held the ball and then handed off to Randy, and Randy Hickey was the only guy with a shot. After he got around Hickey and got to the corner, he was in for the score easily.
Good call, Joe. 9:49 mark of the first quarter of play. That fake really did sell it. Josh Wilson is on to try the extra point attempt for the Maroons. Sometimes it's Tony Simonton, sometimes it's Josh Wilson. It'll be Josh this time. The placement's down by Sams. The boot is on the way. It looks good from here, and it's through there. And the Maroons jump out to a 7-0 lead here with 9:49 to go in the first quarter of play. We'll be back with the Clinton kickoff in a moment.
Clinton Chiropractic Center, under the direction of Dr. Gregory Allen, specializes in the treatment of conditions affecting the spine and joints resulting from auto accidents, stress, sports, and work-related injuries. For an appointment, call Clinton Chiropractic Center at 935-6555, located at 203 East Side Square.
The haunting season is upon us. Are you looking for something ghoulish to do? If you're brave enough, the Clinton Jailhouse is beckoning. Test yourself by touring our 3 stories of terror, starting in the basement of our haunted jailhouse. You'll walk the cell block and face the horrors that lie waiting in our darkened maze. If you make it far enough, you just might meet some old friends who would love to have you for dinner. The haunted jailhouse is open all this month, and it's only a short drive south on Route 51 to Clinton. Just follow the signs. We'll be waiting.
So the Maroons lead by a 7-0 score after recovering the opening kickoff that was fumbled by Warrensburg Latham. And now the Maroons get to kick it off again real quick. And Tony Simonton once again will boot it. Squibb kick down the field this time. And Warrensburg trying to recover it. And one of their up men near the 31-yard line jumps on top of that football. So Warrensburg will have the football this time as Matt Langston, a 6'1", 150-pound senior, fell on the football at about the Warrensburg Latham 31-yard line. So we'll see the Warrensburg Latham offense for the first time in the ball game now. Joe?
Yeah, they had the turnover on the special teams. I think pretty much a good idea that they're going to hand it off to Freeburn here. Right?
Their quarterback is Shane Reed. He's 6'2", 195 pounds, and a senior. He's got some good size. The lineup T formation in the backfield. He'll turn a look. He fakes the handoff. He wants to throw downfield. We've got man-for-man coverage down there, and a man that appeared to be open racing by Randy Rich, but it was overthrown incomplete for Jason Weber, the 6', 150-pound senior. Good opening play because it looked like the Maroons defense were thinking the same thing you were, Joe, that they were going to run it, and there they came out throwing and had a 25-yard pass. It was just a little long, incomplete.
Yeah, they faked the misdirection play to Freeburn, and as you mentioned, they went long with Weber, and it would have been a good play, but Reed couldn't connect on it. He threw it a little bit too long.
Cardinals up to the line of scrimmage with a 2nd and 10 now at their own 31-yard line. Again, they'll line up with 3 in the backfield, but first a flag thrown before the snap of the football. Aaron Friend is another one of those running backs in the backfield, and also joining Freeburn is Gabe Ward, a 5'9", 155-pound sophomore. So Ward, Friend, and Freeburn, the 3 running backs in the backfield. As you possibly heard over the public address system in the background, we had an offsides penalty against the Maroons. That was the reason for the penalty flag. So the Maroons have now given the Cardinals a 2nd and 5 at the 36-yard line of Warrensburg Latham. Cardinals will regroup and huddle and bring it back up to the line of scrimmage now on 2nd and 5. Their quarterback, Reed, will hand it off this time. And a good run up the middle for first down yardage from Gabe Ward, the young sophomore that we mentioned a moment ago. He gets it all the way out to the 46-yard line, just across the 45 to near the 46. And it is a Cardinal first down, a gain of almost 10 yards on the carry.
Yeah, good job by Ward there. They ran the trap up the middle. Good front line surge by Warrensburg, especially up the middle, opened up a hole. And the secondary had to come up and make the play for the Maroons.
I just want to mention the lighting is not very good up here on the top of the booth, too. So as we struggle to pick out numbers. Here's Freeburn getting the carry. Gets outside, getting around the corner. He's at the 45 and tripped by Igems at the ankles and goes down near the 40-yard line of Clinton. A first down again for Warrensburg Latham. That time they hemmed the Maroons inside. And Freeburn was able to get around the outside corner and get the first down all the way down to the 39-yard line is where they'll spot it in Clinton territory.
Yeah, Freeburn got to the outside on the right side of the line there, and good play by Bobby. He saves the touchdown with that tackle. As Freeburn gets around him, he's gone.
First and 10 for the Cardinals at the 39 of Clinton. Again, out of the T formation. He'll turn and try another running back. Good opening up the middle again. And gain inside the 35 down to about the 33-yard line for the young man carrying for the second time in this ball game.
Ashton Duggins on the stop.
Yeah, Gabe Ward up the middle that time, and good job by Ashton Duggins. He's filling in once again for Kevin McCleary this week. He came up and made the tackle.
Can you see your program?
No.
Hard for me to see.
About 7 on the play.
You can't see your stats either, can you?
Mm-mm.
Second down and about 2. Quick pitch, fake. Now he wants to throw. Thrown out here in the right flat and incomplete. A little bit of a collision between Hickey and Igems, but the ball was underthrown incomplete near the 20-yard line. Well, at least the Cardinals are making it look like they want to throw a little bit out here. They feature a pretty strong running game, but they've tried to test the Maroons a little bit with the pass, and if the passes had been on the mark, they could be causing some troubles, although it looked like Igems was coming up in a hurry. They had pretty good coverage on Hickey that time.
Yeah, Igems had a pretty good close on it, but yeah, you're right. They are trying to keep the defense honest by passing the ball.
It's more like 3rd and 3 instead of 2. Again, they'll try the middle, and not much there this time. The Maroons make a good solid hit in the inside and knock down Ward this time after a short gain. So Warrensburg's going to be faced with a 4th down and a yard or 2 to go for a first down. Looks like about a 4th down and 2, Joe.
Yeah, good play by Savage that time. He hit him low, Adam Moore hit him high, and they stopped him before he could get a lot of forward progress on that one.
Who'd you say made the hit? I couldn't hear for the public address system. That's just
Jim
blaring.
Savage and Adam
you.
Moore.
Thank you very much. That public address system,
Yeah.
Is it just my headphones or is it loud? Here on 4th down and about 2. Again, they'll try the run, and Ward's got a little bit of an opening. He's knocked down as he got into linebacker territory by Wilson and Sams, but he got just enough to squirt through there and get the first down inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line, and the Cardinals still have this drive alive.
Yeah, he only needed a few yards in the center, had a good push up front, and he got through the hole and picked up the first down.
We're down to 7 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the first quarter play. Clinton leads 7-0 on a 3-yard run by Randy Rich. They'll try a little misdirection. Freeborn gets the call, gets a cut outside. He may go all the way. Here's Sams to come up in a hurry and knocks him down at about the 7-yard line. But it's a big first down carry. Again, Freeborn was able to cut it outside. And if Sams hadn't closed in a hurry from his secondary spot, he would have been in for the touchdown. It will be 1st and goal coming up for the Cardinals, however.
Yeah, tricky play by the Cardinals that time. They had a good fake to Friend there, and then they kicked it to Freeborn. Freeborn was open on the right side because I think the Maroons bid on that fake. And Nate made a good play to save the touchdown.
At the 7-yard line is where they'll spot it. 1st and 10 for Warrensburg Latham. Everybody tied on the line. No wideouts here. The power running formation. And he will turn and hand it off to Ward. He's met at the line of scrimmage. Keeps pushing hard. Jimmy Savage had a hand on him. He's able to get it down close to the 5-yard line, it appears, from here. And we'll just see exactly how much forward progress they'll give him. Just inside the 5, a gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd and goal near the 5-yard line for the Cardinals.
Ran a trap play up the middle once again. And you mentioned Jimmy on the play. Ashton Duggins also helped wrap him up before he could go downfield.
So on 2nd and goal from the 5 for the Cardinals. Reed up under center again. Has the football, turns, hands it off. Freeborn trying the left side and got a little bit of a push. He was met right at the line of scrimmage. The Maroons jammed it up pretty good, but he still got some forward progress. And looks like he might have it down close to the 2 or maybe the 1-yard line, Joe. That was a good, strong effort by Freeborn.
Yeah, he had some second effort that time. Lucas Ward's the one that stopped him from getting it in. It was a good tackle.
3rd and goal from about 1.5 yards out for Warrensburg Latham. They trail Clinton 7-0, but they're knocking at the door here halfway through the first quarter of play. Reed leads him up to the line again. He's got Ward in the backfield. He's got Freeborn in the backfield. He's got another man. And they will try the middle, and Ward scoots in there, and he's in for the touchdown.
Yep, so he gave it to Ward off the right side, and there were so many fakes that time. It looked like they just about handed the ball off to all 3 guys, but Ward's the one that came through the line and scored the touchdown.
It's a difficult offense to defend. It's very difficult to know for sure who got the handoff, the way they cross those backs. And Ward got the call that time, and he did a good job on this drive. Ward picked up significant yardage in this drive of 69 yards for Warrensburg Latham. And now with an extra point, they can tie it up. They're a little slow in getting their extra point attempt lined up, and they're going to have to use a timeout. Looked like they were going to kick for the single, Joe, and they had to burn a timeout. Why don't we take timeout also? There's 5 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the first quarter of play, and Clinton's lead is just 1 at 7-6.
The Warm Neighbors Fund pays heating bills for people in need. It also weatherizes homes, which helps reduce future heating bills. Warm Neighbors is administered by the Energy Assistance Foundation, a nonprofit organization formed in 1982 with a $250,000 donation from Illinois Power. Last year alone, your contributions and major funding from Illinois Power provided warmth for over 2,000 families.
Back here at Warrensburg-Latham, we are tied at 7 apiece. Warrensburg got the extra point kicked through the uprights by Jason Weber after the timeout. So on the strength of the 1.5-yard run by Gabe Ward, on a fine 69-yard drive by Warrensburg-Latham, and then the extra point, as we said, kicked through the uprights by Weber. Warrensburg here with 5 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the first quarter play has tied it up at 7-7 after they gave up basically a gift to the Maroons on their opening kickoff when they fumbled the ball. And the Maroons, by the way, were able to capitalize on that and take it in for a score.
Yeah, the Maroons got their first look at the Warrensburg offense. Looks a little tricky. A lot of ball fakes to all three backs in the backfield. And they said they utilized Freeburn a lot, but Ward was actually had the bulk of the work there.
We'll have the kickoff now by Warrensburg-Latham from their 40-yard line. Already 14 points on the board in this ball game, 7 by each team. Schumacher and Igems are deep. It's a squib kick. One of the short men, Graves, will take it. Looks for some blocking out front as he brings it to the center of the field. But they got through there and knocked him down after a short return to about the 37-yard line. The wedge out in front allowed some red shirts to get through there. But West did his job and got it to the 37. So pretty good field position for the Maroons offense here on their second drive of the ball game.
Yeah, even though it was a short return, it was a short kick, so the coverage team didn't have to go that far down the field to make the tackle. And West did a good job of just holding on to the ball. I mean, it hurt Warrensburg. He didn't want it to happen to the Maroons.
First down, Sams will give it to Wilson. Try in the middle, snake through for a yard or two close to the 40-yard line, but not a whole lot for Josh as Warrensburg buries him then after that short gain. They had several red shirts on top of him to knock him back after the short gain.
Yeah, well, they tried Wilson up the middle that time, but Warrensburg put some guys up on the line. Secondary man Shane Reed got up there and made the play.
They're pumped up here at Warrensburg on senior night, their final home game of the season, it looks like. Two wideouts the right-hand side. Sam's back to pass, looking for one. Fires it over the middle, too strong for Schumacher, although I almost said that too soon as he made a nice leaping effort near the 40-yard line and almost got a hand on that football, which when it left the hands of Sams looked like it was going to be a lot longer than that over his head.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be too high, and you mentioned Schumacher made a great leaping play at it, and he's made plenty of spectacular catches this year. That was almost another one.
Just a post pattern over the middle, it looked like. Schu on the fly, had his man beaten by a step, not a whole lot, but had a step on him. Unfortunately, the ball just too high for him to pull down. So now the Maroons are faced with a third down and long. A third down and a long 8 coming up here. Igems Schumacher wide to the right-hand side again. I formation. Sams fakes the handoff. Option right. Finds a little bit of an opening. Grab from behind. Still loose on his feet, and then gets it to about the 45-yard line before he's brought down. About 3 yards short of a first down, it appears from here. As a matter of fact, they're going to mark him short of that 45, closer to the 44-yard line. And on fourth down and about 3.5 to 4 yards, the Maroons appear to be in a punt situation as Sams will drop back and stand at about his own 34-yard line. Awaiting the snap from center. Has it. Not too big of a rush. Sams booms it awfully high, and there's no deep man for Warrensburg-Latham. It goes out of bounds about the 29-yard line. It was an awfully high kick, but not real long. It went out of bounds on the far side of the football field at the 29, so Warrensburg's offense, which moved it down the field well on their first series, well, yeah, it really legitimately was their first series since they fumbled the opening kickoff. We'll have it again here, starting at their own 29 this time. If you missed the opening play of the ball game, the Maroons kicked off, and Warrensburg, two of their men got crossed up on the kickoff return. They bumped into each other, dropped the ball on the ground, and the Maroons recovered the ball at the 23 and then took it in for the score, although they had to score on a fourth down play to punch it in the end zone. So Warrensburg at their own 29, first and 10. Reed has him up to the line of scrimmage. He spins. He hands it off. Freebarn trying the left-hand side. Pushes hard. He's grabbed around the ankles and finally dropped after the gain, but the tackle made by Josh Wilson and helped by others, including Duggins and Schumacher on the play. A gain of almost 4 yards on the play, close to 5. We'll give them 4. Second down and 6 coming up for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and it was a good play by Ashton once again as the other linebacker Wilson had him wrapped up, but Ashton came in, made sure he didn't pick up any more yards, and the gang tackling we've been seeing all year from the Maroons.
From near the 34, Freebarn will try to get outside. He's caught by the shirt sleeve and held on to and finally pulled down.
Great play by
shirt
Sams.
sleeve effort by Nate Sams. Well, no, it wasn't Nate Sands, was it? I thought I saw Nate, but it's Adam Moore that had him by the shirt sleeve. I was like you. I thought it was Nate, but Adam, I think, was the man that was hanging on there. They combined to make the tackle and only about a 1-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, Adam was holding on, then Randy Rich came over and polished him off. Well, we've seen Nate make so many plays like that, especially that one against Meridian. I figured that was him.
3rd down and 5. They've got to get it close to their own 40-yard line for the first down. Will Reed throw in this situation? Try the option, and he has to eat the football, and he's put down by Lucas Ward. You had to wait and make sure that he still had the football because they are so slick on those handoffs, but Lucas stayed with the quarterback, and he dropped Reed for about a 4-yard loss on the play.
Yeah, and there are actually 2 tackles on the play, Larry, because downfield Ward was also tackled. And the Maroons, I don't think, were sure when they tackled Ward who had the ball, but to tackle both guys, you don't have to worry about it.
Well, great improvement by the defense of the Maroons. Freebarn under some pressure, gets the punt away. It's a high kick. Schumacher's the lone deep man, but it's not anywhere near him. Now it bounces and gets a good Warrensburg Latham bounce and will roll inside the 40 and stop dead about the 39-yard line in Clinton territory. That ball on the fly didn't even make it to midfield, but it got a good carry for Warrensburg and carried about another 15 yards before it rolled to a stop.
Yeah, and it was almost a great bounce for him as Randy Rich didn't see where it had landed. It almost came up and hit him, and that would have made it a live ball.
If it had hit him in the leg.
It didn't.
If it had hit him in the leg, obviously it would have been a loose ball, and Warrensburg would have had a shot at a recovery, but it didn't work out that way. They downed the ball at the 39, so Clinton will try it again now. In a 7-7 tie. Sam's back to pass quickly on first down. Oh, it's in Igem's hands, and then it goes into the hands of Warrensburg Latham defender on the play. It was thrown high and a bit hard. Igems couldn't control it, and Andy Wood makes a diving catch on the carom and intercepts the ball at the 43-yard line.
What a play by Ward. It went off of Igem's fingertips, and he just used the old tip drill and caught it before it hit the ground.
I thought Bob had the catch. He had to reach up high for the ball, but instead it just tipped off his hands, went straight up in the air, and stayed up there long enough that Warrensburg was able to get the interception with Wood diving to make the catch before it hit the ground. They'll take over at the Clinton 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals with under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter of play and a 7-7 tie. Reed leads him up there. He'll hand it off in the middle. Opening for Ward. The ball's knocked loose, but Warrensburg picks it up. Hickey picks it up, and now he's going to go all the way for the touchdown.
Oh, what an opportune play for Warrensburg. Ward was tackled going down, lost the ball. Hickey was right there. It bounced right to him. He picked it up, and he just ran in for the score. Not much opposition.
Unbelievable that play occurred that way. The Maroons made the stop. Nate Sams jarred the ball loose out of Ward's hands. It was just laying there on the ground, and Hickey made the play, picked it up. Josh Wilson chased him, but could not catch him. Josh took a little shove in the side. I thought maybe almost a clip, but there was no flag, and Hickey was able to run it in the end zone for the touchdown, and I don't know how we rule that. I guess we'll call it a fumble return for a touchdown of around 30 yards or so.
Of course,
and now the extra point attempt. Excuse me. The line drive kick is through there. And Lawrenceburg has taken a 14-7 lead. With 1:36 to go in the first quarter play, the Cardinals lead the Maroons by 7. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Are you ready for a new look? Maybe you just want to spruce up the look you have. Amber Graves of Sheer Paradise has the answer. Amber Graves specializes in haircuts, styles, color, highlights, and perms to give you the look you need when you need it. Maybe you just want to be pampered. Put Amber's experience to work for you with a professional manicure and pedicure. Men, women, and children are welcome. Good luck, Maroons.
We've seen some strange plays from time to time, but Joe, that's got to really rank up there high in the strange play category. And it goes for a touchdown. You wonder if Warrensburg's a team of destiny tonight when they get a play like that.
Yeah, that's a freak play, definitely. And, well, I'm sure if you ask Ward, he'll say he planned it. He saw Hickey there, and he just fumbled it forward. But it almost looked like it. I mean, Hickey was the only one standing there, and the ball popped right to him.
Now, Nate Sams made a good solid hit on him and knocked the ball loose. The kickoff is going for the sideline, and we'll go out around the 20-yard line, and there'll be a penalty flag on the play. We'll see if the Maroons will just take the ball or force them to re-kick. There's 1:36 to go in the first quarter play, and Warrensburg on a real good drive, moving the ball down the field, has one touchdown, and then on a fluke play, you know, Ward did have a good run going. He had about 10 yards on the play, but then it appeared the Maroons had forced the fumble, and we're going to have a chance at least to get the ball. but Hickey was the closest man to it that was still on his feet, that wasn't laying on the turf, and he just reached down, picked it up, and did the right thing. He took it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, and of course, off the penalty out of bounds, the Maroons automatically get it at the 35.
35-yard line, 1st and 10 for Clinton. Trailing by a touchdown now. Still in the first quarter of play. We've had a lot of action already. Sams will give it to Wilson up the middle. Josh pummels forward for about 5 yards or so to near the 40. And about a 5-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Maroons.
Good.
Well, this Maroon football team at times has shown the ability to run the ball well with Wilson up the middle, and they're showing some ability to do that here tonight against Warrensburg.
Yeah, Lucas Ward had a really good block that time. He's the one that sprung Wilson for the 5-yard gain. Freeburn came up and made the stop for Warrensburg.
Could we have the makings of a 40-something to 30-something game here tonight?
With plays like that, you really have to wonder, Larry. It looked like it.
Sams will give the Wilson again, and he's caught at the line of scrimmage and thrown down. They tried a little misdirection, but Jeremy Knight was not fooled. The 6'1", 250-pound senior for Warrensburg grabbed Wilson around the waist and yanked him to the ground. And no gain on the play. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Maroons at their own 40.
Yeah, Knight's Warrensburg's big defensive presence. He's the top lineman for them, and also coming in was linebacker Freeburn to help finish off on the hit. But just great penetration by Knight that time. Stopped the play dead.
Maroons need a first down here. 3rd and 5. And Sams rolling out right under pressure. Nice short pass. Schumacher dropped it. Shu had it at the 45, and I think he started the turn. It's hard to tell because he was on the far side of the field with his back to us, but it almost looked like he started to turn to run with it before he had it all the way in his hands, Joe.
Yeah, he usually makes that type of catch. He just took his eye off it. He tried to see where he was going instead of looking it into his hands, and unfortunately, they don't make the Maroons punt.
He had the yardage for the first down if the pass was on the mark, and it looked like he had it from here, and it fell on the ground. So Sams will punt again. End-over-end kick. And it will bound at the 25 and bound again at the 20 and take a Maroon roll for a little bit to near the 20-yard line. And that's where the Maroons will down the football. Warrensburg has it again with only 22.5 seconds to go in the first quarter of play.
It's a good punt, though, by Nate as it rolled out and it backs Warrensburg up. Hopefully the Maroons defense can get a stop and make them punt deep within their own territory and get good position for the offense.
Clinton now trailing after scoring the opening touchdown of the ball game, trailing Warrensburg-Latham 14-7. This should be our final play of the first quarter if they snap it before the clock runs out, which is running, and it's down to 10 seconds. Looks like Reed's going to get this play off in time. He turns, he will hand it off. Good blocking out front, but then it closes quickly, and Ward only got a couple of yards before Nate Sams grabbed him around the ankles, and Moore was also there to make the tackle. That's our final play of the first quarter. Been an interesting one so far, and the Warrensburg-Latham Cardinals, on the strength of a fumble by their own team picked up by a teammate and run in for a touchdown, leads the Maroons by a touchdown, 14-7. Back here at Warrensburg-Latham on their senior night, our final home game of the regular season. Clinton Maroons have their final home game next Friday night when we host Monticello. Maroons need to come from behind here tonight and win this one to keep their playoff hopes alive. We cannot afford another loss this year, so the Maroons down right now 14-7, need to come back, but a long way to go, 3 quarters of football to be played. It's Warrensburg ball on 2nd and 9. They'll try a little misdirection, trying to sneak outside, but a good strong tackle. Nate Sams again is there, and this time he makes the play. I believe that was on Andy Wood, who made that interception a little bit earlier on that tip pass, and very little gain on that play. Maybe one more yard, a 3rd down and 8, and it looks like the Maroons are defending the run a little bit better now by Warrensburg.
Oh, yeah, and especially on that play, Nate shed his block well, and he bounced right off the block right onto Ward. And if the Maroons make plays like that all night, Warrensburg shouldn't get too many scores.
And a real good, strong tackle by Nate also. Let's see if Freeborn gets the call here on 3rd down and still about 9. They'll try him around the right side. They had him by the shirt for a second. He got away, but then Sams comes up there, Lucas Ward, and Ryan Schumacher all combined to make the stop, and he's well short of the first down. He got maybe about 4 yards, but it's 4th down and 5.
And it was a good play by Adam Moore, too. He's the one that had him at the shirt at the line that slowed him up and allowed Nate and all those guys to corral him. And now hopefully the Maroons will get good field position. The punter didn't have a good punt the last time.
Freeborn awaiting the snap, or excuse me, awaiting, the snap, and gets the punt away, Here's Schumacher watching it bounce. Unable to field it cleanly, and it rolls out of bounds at about the 34, 35-yard line in Clinton territory. So with the bounce and the roll, Freeborn gets a good kick again, although it didn't carry all that far through the air. What is the wind situation here? I can't see the stars and stripes. It feels like it's coming from our back a little bit. We're facing the north. This is an east-west field, and the wind is right now still out of the south. So it's more of a crosswind than anything I think here, Joe, tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem to have much of an effect though, Larry. It's not that strong. It's not definitely as strong as the one at Meridian.
No, but it feels breezy up here. Here's a pass out in the flat for Schumacher. Has the catch, fakes his man, cuts it inside, gets some more yardage on it, about another 4 yards after he made the catch at the 40. And he is going to be close to a first down, depending upon the spot they give him. I believe he's going to be just short of the first down by about, 2/3 of a yard or so. Good safe throw out in the right flat to Schumacher, who caught it, as we said, at the 40, then curled it back inside and dove forward close for the first down marker. And it's close enough that the officials are going to bring the sticks out and measure here. But from our angle right now, looks like we might be just a hair short. It's going to be closer than I originally thought, though, Joe. But we'll wait for the measurement and see. We're early in the second quarter play. Clinton is trailing Warrensburg Latham 14-7.
Yeah, that was a good quick out pattern by Schumacher. He read the defense. He split the two guys, got right in the soft part of the defense out in the flat, and worked for the first down.
Yeah. By about half the length of the football, as it turned out. So my eye from this angle was not all that good. I'm near the 50, and that was at the 45, and I'm looking around the telephone pole and everything else, the light pole. What?
That's what I was going to say.
Cameraman.
There's a pole in your way there.
Yeah. I still should be able to pick up on that. I'm rusty. Took a few days off this week, and I'm rusty. Sams will hand it off to Wilson up the middle, but man, were they there in a hurry. And
Big Knight again.
Jeremy Knight. He's 250 pounds, Joe, and I think Wilson, Josh felt every bit of that 250 pounds hit him on that one.
Yeah, Knight hit him from Wilson's backside, kind of just slung him down, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he felt all of that as he landed on top of him for no gain on the play.
Tough blocking assignment for the offensive line there on the right-hand side. He lines up across from the guard. This time McCleary will take him, and Sams will run. He breaks into the clear. A man finally catches him from behind and pulls him down, and if that man hadn't caught him, he might have sprung it all the way. Eric Freebarn caught him and drug him down from behind, but it looks like it's enough for another first down for the Maroons and Nate Sams.
Big block by Lucas Ward and Adam Moore that time. They pulled the defense out of there. Big hole for Nate Sams, and that's what got him the first down, is after he got past the line of scrimmage, it finally took the secondary to corral him.
They ran away from Jeremy Knight and also Big Bart Hickey, who's 6'4" and 205. They list him. Here's a throw. Igens has it out here in the right flat, trying to get around the corner, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, stays in bounds. He's at the 30, 20, trying to beat one more man. 10-yard line, caught from behind and drugged down to the 5-yard line. Igens made what didn't look like was going to be a real big play, a big one for the Maroons. Down near the 5-yard line where the Maroons will have first and goal.
Yeah, big play by Bobby. He really burnt Shane Reed, Warrensburg's quarterback, and now also cornerback on the play. He juked him, and he just got by him to the outside, and after he did that, it really took Warrensburg's defense a long time before they could catch him. Bobby, a really fast guy.
Jason Weber, I believe, was the man that caught him and drug him down near the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Maroons. Sams will hand it off. It's Rich trying to get around the corner. Knocked back a little bit and has to go out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. It just wasn't there as they tried to get around the right corner. Warrensburg Latham had it covered pretty well, and it was led by Tom Geppinger, who made the initial tackle on the play.
Yeah, Geppinger did a nice job. He strung Randy out to the sidelines. That's what you want to do when you try to get outside, and just ran him out of bounds.
Second and goal for the Maroons near the 5-yard line once again, it appears. They're moving toward our right. Sam split backfield. Quarterback keeper up the middle, and he got some pretty good yardage on it. A nice hole opened up just to the left of his center, Lucas Ward. He is short of the goal line, but I think he's near the 1, Joe. Very close to scoring the touchdown on a simple quarterback keeper that time from the 5.
Yeah, big hole ripped open by Lucas Ward, and also Adam Moore on that side just to the left. And almost big enough for Nate to get through there for the score.
Why not run it again here when you're only inches away from the goal line? We'll see what the Maroons coaching staff decides to do. As Wilson and Rich are in the backfield, split behind Sams. He got the snap. Oh, he's met this time, and guess who it was? Big number 73, Jeremy Knight said, hey, I know what's coming this time. I'm going to stop it, and he did. Boy, did he bore through there and stop Sams from getting it in the end zone.
Yeah, he just a quick off the ball that time. And as soon as they snapped it, it looked like he got across the line of scrimmage and met Sams.
He was there in no time. There was no fooling him on the snap count. And so now the Maroons with a 4th and goal from near the 1-yard line. We actually lost a little bit on that play. We'll take a timeout and discuss what they want to do. We're down to 8 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in quarter number 2. Clinton needs this touchdown to try to pull within 1 point. We're trailing 14-7 at this point. I didn't call for a commercial. Sorry about that. We weren't quite ready for a commercial at that point. So the Maroons with a timeout here have made it a short one, and we don't want to miss the attempted touchdown here by the Maroons on a 4th down and goal from near the 1-yard line. They'll take 2 wideouts to the left-hand side in an I-formation backfield. The Schumacher and Igems are wide left. Sams, before he could get the ball off, the officials blow it dead. I don't think they were quite set on the field after the timeout. So there's no penalty here, I believe. I didn't see any flags. Did you, Joe?
No
flags. They weren't ready for the Maroons to run the play quite yet. Unfortunately, it gave Warrensburg a chance to see what they were going to run. That could be bad news for the Maroons. On 4th and goal from the 1-yard line, Sam's under center, turns. He wants to roll out left, gets a block. He's still rolling left, wanting to throw. Throws it in the back of the end zone for Igems. Great catch. Is he inbounds? No, he's out of the back of the end zone. What a great catch by Bob. There's a flag on the play also back where they were trying to make the block to give Sams a chance to roll out left.
What a great play by Bobby. It goes for naught, but
there's a flag against Warrensburg Latham, though. There's a flag against Warrensburg Latham. And although the crowd was cheering the fact that the Maroons were stopped on 4th down, it looks like the Maroons are still alive. What are you smiling about, cameraman? He's suggesting it was a defensive clipping penalty like we had at Sullivan. I don't think so. That wasn't the sign they gave, was it? I hope not. They're talking things over with Nate Sams. He's going to say, hey, we'll take the penalty.
Obviously.
We've got to. So it's going to be 4th down and goal from the 1-yard line again, or even the half-yard line. It is a defensive clip. Is this the same crew we had at Sullivan?
This time it goes against the home team.
Now look at the Warrensburg coaches. We know how this feels.
They're in disbelief, and we know why.
They're pointing across the field at something. I don't know. There's another timeout in the field. Let me see here. Do I want to take a commercial timeout or not? And let's keep it here. We've got plenty of time to get some more commercials in. We still have 8 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the second quarter of play. 14-7 is our score. Warrensburg with the lead, and the Maroons knocking at the door. They got there on a great pass play. Igems running down the sideline, got it to the 5, but both times we've been down inside the 10, we've had trouble punching it in, Joe.
Yeah, and partially because of Knight, such a big force. He's kind of for Maroons fans like a Dave Lummel. I mean, he's such an imposing figure. And but Lucas Ward has got some good pushes up the middle, and Adam Moore on the left side, and Clyde Leggett has got some holes on the right side. So I think they can punch it in there.
This time they split the wideouts, and they also split the backfield. Schumacher's lined up at a tight end on the right-hand side. So from near the half-yard line, Sands will hand it off. Wilson pushing hard, spins, and he is just across the goal line for the touchdown. It wasn't easy, but Wilson, with his back facing the goal line, falls across the goal line for the touchdown.
Well, he rode Clyde Leggett right into the end zone there. Clyde had a good push. He got into the end zone, and Wilson just ran back, got hit at the line and ran backwards into the end zone for the touchdown.
We'll give Wilson credit for the 1-yard run for the touchdown. And now what do the Maroons want to do on the conversion attempt? I see the tee out there, so Josh Wilson, I believe, will be, yes, he will be, the man called upon to try to tie up this ball game at 14 apiece if he can kick it through the uprights, as he did early in this ball game on the Maroons' first touchdown. Sam's, of course, the holder. And Nate will call the signals. Has a snap. It's going to be a fake. He's going to roll out right. He's going to run with the football hard for the corner, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. He had Schumacher and Igems in the end zone. Warrensburg covered that, so he decided to run it, and the Maroons have the lead 15-14 on the 2-point conversion after the fake on the try for the 1 extra point.
Yeah, what a great fake, and you can utilize that when your quarterback is the holder, and Nate also has great speed. They ran the flag pattern that they liked to use last year where they ran Schumacher and also Igems this time across the end zone, but as Larry mentioned, well covered. So Nate made a scramble and hit the corner of the end zone, reached that pylon, and put the 2 points on the board.
So the Maroons now have the lead 15-14, and we talked about it so much we don't have time for a commercial still. Sorry, sponsors, but we'll get them in here for you in a little bit. We've had a lot of scores already in this ball game, 4 touchdowns in this ball game, and the way this one's going, I'm sure we'll have some more opportunities before this one is over. And, uh-oh. Joe, don't turn around and look. I think I saw some lightning behind us in the south. Maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe that was somebody taking a picture down there. I hope so. 8 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the second quarter of play. Clinton now leads 15-14, a 1-point Clinton lead.
That's a camera with a big flash.
One of those old-time cameras from the 20s, right?
Yeah.
With a big flash. Tony Simonton will kick it off. approaches that one and squips it down the field. The catch is made, but they're on a knee when they field that one inside the 30-yard line, about the 29 or so. And they say that's Matt Langston who made the catch on that kick. So Warrensburg, with no run back, will take it 1st and 10 at just inside the 30, about the 29-yard line.
Well, you can't fault Langston really on that catch. The ball had kind of a curveball effect to it. It kind of spun, and he had to drop to his knees to
just make sure he didn't let it get away and give Clinton an opportunity for recovery, which they have done this year. We've seen it happen. 1st and 10 for Warrensburg Latham now. Reed will try the second back through. He tries the middle. Ward, and he's grabbed around the ankles. Early in the ball game, he was getting through holes like that, but not this time. Josh Wilson grabbed him around the ankles and dropped him after about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Wilson and also Ashton Duggins, once again, not giving up too much yardage there for Ward.
Ashton's done a nice job at the linebacker since he's gotten the opportunity this year, stepping in a couple of games ago in the Meridian ball game with the injuries. On 2nd down, Reed rolling out left, has time to throw, fires it down the field, but he's going to overshoot his man. Ijams step for step with the intended receiver near the 45 of Clinton, and that was Jason Weber, but that pass overthrown. And just keeping the Maroons a little honest there. They've been keying on the run lately and maybe trying to loosen them up a little bit with the pass play.
Yeah, similar to the first offensive play of the game for Warrensburg. They had the ball fake in the backfield, tried to keep the secondary looking in the backfield, thinking it was a running play, and then they threw it deep to Weber across the middle of the field and just overshot him once again on that play.
Here's an important play now for the Cardinals, a 3rd down and 8 from their own 32-yard line. They line up with an I formation this time. Reed with some time, rolling out left, trying to throw downfield. He's got a man this time. The catch is made, and a 1st down for the Cardinals as Langston made the catch out here at about the 43-yard line. Schumacher gave him enough room, grabbed him and threw him down, but not till he had made the catch, and has a Warrensburg Latham 1st down. And they will give him to about the 43-yard line in Cardinal territory.
Yeah, Cardinals bootleg to the left side there, to the side where Langston was at the sideline. Good route by Langston. He knew exactly where the 1st down was, and he camped right there, and he had enough for the 1st down.
So from their own 42, we'll call it now. Little misdirection. Freeborn gets the call. Lucas Ward is there, and then others. Duggins came in to make the hit, and they drop him for a loss of a couple yards on the play. They're not letting this guy get too far at all lately. And he's dropped for the 2-yard loss, or at least a 1-yard loss after they gave him the forward progress to the 41.
They're not going for the fakes now, and they were all over that, you mentioned. And also, Bobby Ijams got in there for a little bit of the cleanup hit. But, yeah, most of the Maroons weren't fighting on all that at all on that fake.
Now, Lucas was the initial man through there. Lucas Ward, a good solid play to make the initial hit and really the main man on the tackle on 2nd and 11. They'll try it again. Freeborn's got a little opening this time. He tries to cut it outside, gets around Nate Sands. Ijams and knocked out of bounds, but he's into Clinton territory and has a 1st down near the 44-yard line. When he gets outside, he's trouble. He's got good quickness.
And it looked like the Maroons defensively had a little bit problems lining up that time. Nate Sands and Ryan Schumacher didn't know which side they were on. I think that kind of hindered the play as Nate finally got over to that left side. That's the one where Freeborn ran at. But both guys were kind of running around in the defensive backfield.
They gave him all the way to the 43 of Clinton. A Warrensburg 1st down. They trail Clinton by 1 point, 15-14, as we're nearing the halfway point of the 2nd quarter of play. Reed will turn and hand it off. Freeborn trying the middle this time. He's grabbed and drugged down, but he got it to about the 40-yard line before he stopped on the play. A gain of about 3. 2nd and 7 will be coming up for the Cardinals.
Once again, Lucas Ward in the play. Also Adam Moore bringing him down, and those guys aren't letting Freeborn get that many yards up the middle.
Good hard-fought ball game between these two teams. The Warrensburg Latham Cardinals at home, their final game of the regular season, and trying to catch the Maroons in the OCA Conference standings. Just a game behind the Maroons in the standings right now. Reed taking a couple handoffs, now rolling out right, wants to throw. Got a man down there. It's Hickey, makes the catch, bounces off a tackler, but a good play by Randy Rich to hang on to him and bring him down, but it looks like it's enough for a 1st down. Down there about the 32-yard line. Matter of fact, he stretched out that long 6'4" frame and got it close to the 30, and that's where they'll spot the football, just outside the 30-yard line of Clinton for a 1st down.
Yeah, Lucas Ward was applying pressure on the quarterback, got the throw off to Hickey. And you're right, good job by Randy. He popped Hickey, but Hickey's so big he just kind of bounced off of it. So Randy then had to tackle him again, and he got him down.
Reed sprints out. He goes right, he goes left, and so it doesn't give your defensive line much of a chance to put some pressure on. So far, the Maroons haven't been able to. Reed will hand it off on the second fake, and nothing there. And I think it's Freeborn again who got the call, and boy, he's thrown to the ground hard this time. Josh Wilson, Wes Graves, and others were in on that tackle, and it looks like they might have lost a yard on the play.
Yeah, the linebackers are really having a field day because the defensive line is getting such a good push on Warrensburg's offensive line that the linebackers can play more aggressively toward the ball.
5.5 minutes ago in the second quarter of play. Clinton leading 15-14. And Warrensburg with the football on 2nd and 11. Reed's going to roll out left again. Has time. Fires it out there, and a good diving catch is made. And near the 21-yard line.
Langston,
let's see if it's enough for a first down.
Langston, good catch over on the left sideline.
They're going to get him to the 21-yard line, Langston, with Schumacher coming up immediately and putting him down, but he made the nice diving catch at the 21, and they are looking it over and may have to stop the clock and make a measurement, and they will here with 5:09 to go in quarter number 2. So Warrensburg with a good solid drive, and Joe, they're using the ball through the air quite a bit on this drive to make it happen.
Yeah, Langston and Hickey, both the receivers on this drive, know where the first down marker is. Langston had got there, but the ball was underthrown a little bit. He had to dive and make a play, and he kind of lost some yardage there, but he still might pick up the first down.
They'll stretch out the sticks here in just a second and see where they stand.
Looks like he'll be short.
It'll be 3rd down. And it's hard to tell the officials in the way, but at least the length of the football, it appears. So 3rd down and very short coming up here for the Cardinals at the 21-yard line of Clinton.
3rd down and about a foot for the Cardinals for a first down.
Yeah, they say about a foot over the public address system, as you possibly could hear in the background. That gave Freeborn a chance to get a little bit of a breather on the sideline. He jogs back out there, ready to go. He's taken some solid hits on this drive by the Maroons when he's carried the football. And with the exception of one run he got for a first down, he hasn't gotten a lot of yardage on this particular drive.
Yeah, and the run he got to the first down was an outside run. The Warrensburg's tried a lot of runs up the middle, and the Maroons have stuffed those rather nicely.
Line up with the T formation. Freeborn's in there. Ward's in there. Those guys have done the bulk of the ball carrying. Aaron Friend is in there also. They haven't given him the ball too much. Will it just be a quarterback keeper by Reed for the first down? No, he'll turn. He's going to throw. Trying to fake, and the Maroons are going to drop him for a sack and a loss on the play. I tell you what.
Adam Moore came through like a freight train.
That was a interesting call by Warrensburg, trying to surprise the Maroons there on a 3rd down and just inches. And apparently our secondary guys did an excellent job covering the receivers because, yeah, we had a pretty good pass rush, but he was looking downfield, and he didn't see anybody open, and that helped the guys on that pass rush get the chance to make the sack on the play.
Yeah, good point, Larry. It was a coverage sack, but it almost looked like Adam Moore wasn't blocked at all on that play as he came right through a big hole.
He came through there pretty quickly, too, and so good credit to the whole Maroon defense. He ducked down and was trying to hide it like he handed it off, and, Warrensburg was just going to try to punch it for the first down, and he still had the football, and all of a sudden Adam Moore was in his face, as you said, and it's a big sack and a loss of about 6, almost 7 yards on the play. The line of scrimmage is where, Joe? About the 28-yard line, I guess it is. We have to look hard for the markers here at Warrensburg-Latham. So they've got to get about 7 to get the first down now on 4th down. Clock is stopped with 4:45. Matter of fact, they took a timeout after that particular play to set things up here. And they will go with an I formation backfield this time. Ward ahead of Freeborn. Couple of wideouts, one each way. And Hickey lined up at tight end. Reed rolling out right. Under pressure, Josh Wilson hit him just as he threw the football, and it'll drop harmlessly incomplete over the middle. Wilson with a good solid hit just as he was releasing that football, and that pass went wobbling out there, nowhere near a receiver, and so credit Josh with the play there.
I think he was trying to hit Hickey down the middle of the field, but as you mentioned, Wilson hit him as he threw, and that knocked the pass off its course. And I just have to wonder about that call by Warrensburg. You didn't need much, and Reed got some size at quarterback. You figured they'd just barrel him through the line.
It looks bad now, certainly, when they did not get the first down and keep their drive alive. But it was an interesting call. They were going for the points right there, hoping they could surprise the Maroons. Now Sam's throwing deep downfield. He's got Schumacher racing down the left sideline. Almost made a one-handed catch. Touched it with the left hand as over the shoulder near the 30-yard line, but could not hang on to that ball. And boy, Nate threw a pretty ball on that one down the left sideline as the Maroons went for the big score right there.
Yeah, and Nate threw a perfect ball. He threw it out in front of Schumacher to where only Schumacher could make the catch. It was a ball that couldn't possibly be intercepted by the defender, and only the offensive player had a chance at it, and Ryan almost made a spectacular one-handed grab.
The Maroons have taken over at the 28-yard line. Now they have 2nd and 10 from the 28. He'll give it to Wilson up the middle. Has a little bit of an opening, then is caught and spun down by the secondary and linebackers for Warrensburg Latham, but he got it to the 33, almost the 34-yard line. And that'll be a gain of about 5 yards on the play. 3rd down and a long 5 coming up for the Clinton Maroons. We have 4:15 to go before halftime. Clinton is leading by 1 point, 15-14.
Yeah, Lucas Ward carved a big hole for him again before Hughes came up for Warrensburg.
Sams wants the pass. Got a man downfield. Ijems lofts it up in the air. Good coverage is there, and Ijems can't quite make the catch. It was bobbled around. Boy, man-for-man coverage. The ball hung up just a little bit. Bobby trying to wait for it near the 40-yard line of Warrensburg Latham. Reached back and got his fingertips on it, but just couldn't quite pull it in as Andy Wood was right there man-for-man with it.
And you could make a case for pass interference. He wasn't even looking at the ball, and he kind of gave Ijems a little push, but wasn't called and bring up a 4th down.
And the Maroons will be forced to punt again. Nate Sams waiting to snap. Has some pressure coming, but gets a good boot away, end-over-end kick that will come down and take a bit of a Clinton bounce. Roll inside the 35, and finally roll dead about the 31-yard line. Not seeing many punt returns here. Both teams electing to let the ball hit the ground and just roll to a dead stop. Nobody wants to make a mistake here and fumble the football back to the other team trying to return one, I guess.
Well, that time it was also good coverage by the Maroons coverage team there, as Wes Graves was almost right on top of it. If he wanted to make the play on the ball, he almost could have caught it when it was in the air.
So the Maroon defense will try to hold again here, leading by 1 point, 15-14. Under 4 minutes to go. Warrensburg has to move the football. Nearly 70 yards, about 69 yards. Reed will hand it off. Freeborn finds a little opening, but then is chopped down low and knocked down. Lucas Ward was there. Also on the tackle was Duggins. And a gain of only about a yard play. They also say that Nate Sams was there on the tackle. As a matter of fact, there was no gain on the play, Joe. It'll be 2nd down and 10. They've really kept the wraps on Freeborn. As long as he doesn't get outside around the corner, they can hold him down, it appears.
Yeah, well, the Maroons have had success stopping the run to the middle of the field mostly all season, and not a soft middle of the field against this Maroons defense, and Warrensburg's finding it out the tough way. Freeborn having to put up with some pretty good licks.
Those guys on the outside, like Sams and Wes Graves, if they can just contain, they can do the job. Here's heavy pressure on the quarterback again. He gets away. Now Reed wanting to throw downfield, lofts it up in the air. Several players there, and Hickey makes the catch, and he's going to go all the way for the touchdown as the 2 Maroon defenders get crossed up, and Hickey gathers it in and runs it in the remaining 35 yards for the touchdown. Another freak play for Bart Hickey, and he scores once again. It'll go as a 69-yard touchdown pass play, a wobbly pass that fell in the hands of Hickey as the Maroons defenders got crossed up out there and actually bumped into each other and kept each other from making the tackle on the big man after he made the catch.
And it was a great play by Reed to even get the pass off. Adam Moore put heavy pressure on him, almost sacked him. He wiggled free, got a wobbly pass off, as you said. Hickey caught it. Randy Rich fell down as he hit the other Warrensburg player. And after that, there was nobody left to tackle Hickey, and he just rumbled 35 yards for the rest of the score.
They'll try the kick for the extra point. It's now Warrensburg leads by a score of 20-15. Big rush. The kick is a fake, and Freeborn got the call, and he's knocked down. It was a fake, and Freeborn tried to run it, and boy, the Maroons read that well and chopped him down clear back at about the 8 or 9 yard line. So good defense by the Maroons. We need to take a timeout. 2:45 to go before halftime. Warrensburg leads again on another strange play, a wobbly pass play that Hickey is able to gather in and run in for the touchdown, 20-15. Game that sees Warrensburg Latham lead again, 20-15, and Joe was just making an observation on that extra point attempt. It actually, instead of the Maroons actually making a tackle, Lucas Ward will get credit for it, but he was trying to block the extra point and dove for it, fell on the ground, and you thought Freeborn looked like he just tripped over him? Is that the way you saw it?
Yeah, Lucas had kind of got up, and he was halfway up, and Freeborn just tripped over his back and fell down.
Randy Rich fields the short kick on the ground. It was loose for a moment. He picked it up, got no return. 25-yard line. The Maroons will have it with 2:40 to go before halftime. That was a little scary. Kick on the ground the whole way that they let roll through, and then Randy Rich had a little trouble. Had to reach back between his legs to pick that one up before he tried to return it, and Warrensburg was down on it by then.
Yeah, well, also heavy traffic. There's a few Maroons and Cardinals around him.
Strange ball game. We've got trips to the left-hand side for the Maroons now. 3 wideouts to the left. 1 lone back in the backfield. Samms wants to throw. He's under pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Grabbed and sacked. Dropped for a loss of a couple yards on the play. Pressure and then finally dropped on the play by Steve McRoberts, a 5'10", 205-pound senior for Warrensburg Latham. 2nd and 12. The Maroons not choosing to eat up too much clock here. They're wanting to air it out, put the ball in the air, and try to get some points in a hurry. That's the way they tried it the last time they had the football.
Yeah, they're trying to come back from this deficit now, and McRoberts, good pressure on Nate that time.
Wind's picking up a bit. Here's Wilson, a pop up the middle, breaks into the clear, and then is chopped and knocked down short of the first down, but he got it across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Joe, the wind's picking up.
Yeah, and a few
And
droplets.
I'm getting hit with some precipitation. We're getting some raindrops here. Hold on to the cover. Hold on to your papers. The crowd's starting to yell out some yells here in celebration of the weather. The Maroons will have a 3rd down and 4 coming up at the 33-yard line after the run by Wilson that netted about 6 or 7 yards.
This could get nasty.
Sam's back to pass. Throws it out here in the flat. Schumacher can't make the catch. Thrown behind him a little bit, and he couldn't see it clearly all the way to grab it. Incomplete at the 40-yard line. It's 4th down and 4 for the Maroons.
Yeah, Ryan got his hands on it, but it was a difficult play. He had to spin his whole body around and just couldn't hang on. And that'll force the Maroons to punt now.
Well, we're nearly at halftime. There's 1 minute and 20 seconds to go on the clock, but Warrensburg's going to get the ball one more time, it appears. Samms will boot it away. Booms it toward the far sideline. No one's there, and it will bound out of bounds near the 40-yard line, I believe. We'll wait for the official to spot it. And they do say the 40-yard line. The wind is moving around and coming more out of the west now, and it is really kicking up, Joe.
Man.
And I think we're getting that front passing through here. It's going to bring some precipitation in on us. Oh, boy. I'm looking forward to this. How about you?
Oh, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But interesting to see there, Warrensburg's not putting anybody back on punts at all.
And here comes the rain. Not raining real hard, but we are getting some rain.
Well, it looks like it's raining harder on the field, actually.
Well, it always looks that way. You know, you watch ball games on TV, whether it be baseball or football or whatever, and it always looks worse when you look at it in the lights, and that's the way it looks right now. 1st down for Warrensburg. They'll try the second back, a little bit of an opening up the middle. Gain of about 5 yards on the play for Freeburn. And we're down to 1 minute and 5, 1 minute 4 to go in the first half of play. It's a 20-15 lead right now as we approach halftime for Warrensburg Latham. And some of the fans starting to move out a little bit and look for cover, I guess.
Schumacher with the tackle on that play.
2nd and 5. They're taking a lot of time in the huddle. Looks like Warrensburg may be content to go to the locker room with this 5-point lead at halftime. Now they're signaling for a timeout. Oh, boy. Thank you. Oh, well, I'm not going anywhere anyway. I'm just going to have to sit here in the rain anyway. Timeout taken by Warrensburg Latham. We'll take a timeout also. 39.5 seconds on the clock before halftime. Warrensburg leading 20-15.
We're here at Dave's Food Basket asking our customers what keeps bringing them back again and again.
I say the
Freeburn gets the call. Freeburn gets maybe a yard or so as he spun away from a couple of tacklers and gets it back to about the 45-yard line, but there was very little gain on the play for Warrensburg Latham. So after the carry by Freeburn just a moment ago, it'll be 3rd down and still about 5 coming up for the Cardinals after their timeout, trying the running play. And the clock is in motion again. It's down to 10 seconds, and they're hustling up to the line to run one more play before it runs out, it looks like. 5 seconds ago. They will run it. Reed, they'll try reverse. Trying to pass. Hickey's open downfield. He's got the catch. Ijems comes in and knocks it away at the last second, and the clock has run out. Oh, my. That was almost close to another score as they almost got it to the big man. He has already scored 2 touchdowns in this first half. A fumble recovery run in for a touchdown and a pass catch for a touchdown, and Weber almost got the ball to him that time for the score. We'll take time out here. We're at halftime. It's raining here at Warrensburg Latham, and the Maroons are trailing by 5 at halftime, 20-15.
When it's time for retirement.
Cool. The rain started falling here with about 1.5 minutes to go before halftime. It's not a downpour by any means, I guess, Joe. We're on top of the box here. We're on top of their box along the football field, so we're exposed to the elements, although we do have a little bit of tree cover behind us here. That's helping a lot. but it's blowing out of the west, and it's coming down hard enough that we are starting to get a little damp, and that's the way it's going to be, I imagine, for a while. As I guess we got a front moving through now. It's going to bring us some cooler temperatures and some rain. Joe's trying to add up his statistics, although I don't know how he can write when his papers are getting all wet. Quick recap of the scoring in this first half of play, if we can see it before it melts. Maroons scored early in the ball game. They recovered a fumble on the opening kickoff of the ball game by Warrensburg Latham at the 23-yard line. Slowly moved it in, and finally on a 4th down and goal at the 3-yard line, Randy Rich ran it in to put the Maroons ahead 6-0. Josh Wilson kicked the extra point, and Clinton led 7-0. Warrensburg came right back after that, fielded the kickoff fine the next time, started at their own 31-yard line and moved the ball 69 yards down the field for a touchdown. It was completed by Gabe Ward on a 1-yard run. The kick was good by their kicker, and we were tied at 7 apiece with 5:43 to go in the first quarter of play. Warrensburg took the lead in the ball game when Bart Hickey picked up a fumble by Ward. He picked it up around the 30-yard line, or 35, and no one was near him. He ran it all the way in for the touchdown. It was a running play by Warrensburg Latham at the time that was fumbled by their own player, Gabe Ward, and Hickey was able to pick it up and run it in for the touchdown, untouched the rest of the way. Again, they kicked for the extra point, and Warrensburg led 14-7 with 1:32 to go in the first quarter of play, and that was our score at the end of the first period. Clinton came back and actually took the lead in the second quarter of play. It was Wilson on a 1-yard run on another 4th down and short at the goal line, punching it in for the touchdown. Then the Maroons ran a fake on the extra point. Sams took the snap as it looked like they would kick for the extra point, turned around, bootlegged it, and ran it in the end zone for the 2-point conversion to give the Maroons a 1-point lead, 15-14. The Warrensburg has scored here shortly before halftime with 2:44 to go in the half. A rather freak-looking pass play of about 69 yards from their quarterback, Reed, who threw up a wobbler after getting away from some Maroon pressure. It wobbled through the air, but Bart Hickey, who's 6'4" and has good size, made a good catch on the play, ran it in the rest of the way as the Maroons defenders got crossed up and knocked each other down. And he got the touchdown. They went for a 2-point conversion on a fake of their own, but did not get it, and 20-15 is our halftime score. The rain is now coming down harder, Joe, and Joe, trying to protect his papers, will try to give us a look at the halftime statistics. Joe, wherever you are over there, over to you.
Well, I'm under the raincoat here. Sam's 7 carries, 24 yards for the Maroons. Wilson had 26 carries on 8 yards. Rich had a few carries for 5 yards. Passing-wise, Nate, 2 of 9, 50 yards. Of course, the big pass play to Igins to set up the score for that one. For Warrensburg, Freeburn, the big ball carry, as we thought, 14 carries, 69 yards. Ward also added 36 yards on 8 carries. Reed had 2 carries for minus 12 yards. And passing-wise, Reed 4 of 9, 99 yards. Of course, hitting Hickey for 79 of those to set up some scores. And Langston also had a few catches for 20 yards.
All right, what we're going to do here, it's pouring down rain, it's blowing severely. We've got our halftime interview for you, sponsored by McDonald's. And we're going to, of course, send it back to the studios for that, for those of you listening on the radio. And then we're just going to keep it at the studios until shortly before the start of the second half, and hopefully we won't be drowned rats by that time. So we'll send it back now, and we'll talk to you hopefully a little bit later on when the rain slows down a little bit. Back to the studios now with Warrensburg leading Clinton 15-14, or excuse me, 20-15 is Warrensburg's lead of 5 points here at halftime.
1-800-7878-735.
It's 10:37 on a Saturday night. Do you know which of your checks have cleared? The John Warner Bank is proud to introduce our newest service, JWB Telebank. Just dial 1-800-7878-735, and you can access rate information. Inquire about balances, transactions, and deposits with regard to your checking account, personal loan, certificate of deposit, or savings account. You can even leave a message so a bank employee can meet your needs personally. JWB Telebank. It's just one more way we make banking easy.
Which continued through most of the halftime, is just now subsided as we're getting ready to start the second half of play. It's like on cue, it's okay, second half's about ready to start, and the rain has pretty well eased up to just a slight drizzle, it looks like now, Joe.
Yeah, the weather's kind of been as weird as the game, Larry. Looks kind of kind of calm before the game, and then the wind picked up and started raining at halftime, and we've seen some weird plays, too.
We've seen some very strange stuff. Warrensburg Latham scored one of their touchdowns on a fumble of their own that one of their teammates, their big tight end, Bark Hickey, was able to pick up and run into the end zone for their second touchdown of the ball game. And their third touchdown was a simple pass play that turned into a touchdown. It really looked like it shouldn't have been even a completion, but Hickey used his size to gather it in, and then the defenders fell down, and he was able to take it in for the second touchdown. So his two big touchdowns in this ball game are the difference right now, as Warrensburg leads by 5, 20-15.
Yeah, really two broken plays. I mean, the first one, the fumble, and then the pass that didn't look like anything, as you mentioned. And I'm not too worried. I think the Maroons had a good showing the first half. I think they'll come out and they'll play well.
Well, the field is now soaking wet, although it's a very dry football field here. I'm sure it could take a lot of rain on it. There's no standing water or anything like that. But it will be slippery, and Warrensburg Latham will kick off to the Maroons to start our second half of action, with the host Cardinals leading our Maroons 20-15 as we start second half action. Here's the approach and the boot for the Cardinals, and it'll be Schumacher from his 20, 25, trying to get outside, does so, 30, 35, now cuts back toward the center of the field, gets a block. He's to the 40-yard line and then thrown down about the 43-yard line. Pretty good return by Ryan Schumacher, and the Maroons will have pretty good field position at the 43-yard line, it appears, 1st and 10.
Yeah, good running by Schumacher. They gave him a wedge to the right side. He cut it out there, and once the defensive over pursued to that side, he cut it back to the middle and picked up even more yardage and almost got to midfield.
Are your papers drying out yet?
Well, the Maroons side is a little wet still.
Here's Sams on an option, forced to go outside, now pitches, it's loose on the ground, and Rich gets it back. I'm not even sure if that was a legal lateral or not, but there's no flag on the play. And at the last second, Sam's trying to pitch it to Rich. Rich wasn't able to handle it. Keep in mind, it's wet. It's not raining at the moment, but it is wet and slippery out there. And the Maroons on that option play lost at least a yard, about a yard and a half on the play. Now they're back to their own 41. So the offense gets off to a struggling start here in their first play in the second half.
And it was a nice play by Rich just to fall on it, too.
He made a safe decision there, not trying to pick it up. Here's a pass over the middle, caught by Schumacher. He's a little short of the first down, trying to get it, but they held on to him, and around the ankles was Andy Wood to make sure he got no farther. He's across midfield to the 49-yard line of Warrensburg Latham, so that's a gain of almost 10 yards on the play. It'll be third down and about a yard and a half to go for the first down.
Yeah, good route by Schumacher. He went over the middle. He found the first down marker. He had to come back for the ball a little bit, and that's where he got tackled. But it sets up the Maroons for a short yardage play.
Sam sets him down, takes the handoff, first man, gives it to Rich, opening up the middle, has the first down and lots more. He's to the 41-yard line of Warrensburg Latham before he's tackled around the ankles in the secondary. Nice block, lead block out front by Josh Wilson, and Rich was able to find the opening through the right-hand side of the line and pick up about 10 yards on the play in the first down.
Yeah, it was a good lead block. They kind of threw a little curveball. Instead of handing it off to Wilson, they made him the lead blocker and handed it off to Rich. He normally goes outside. This time he went up the middle.
Stands back to pass. It's a screen. He's got it to Wilson, trying the right-hand side. Keeps his feet. He slipped a little bit, but gets good yardage on it and gets it down close to the 31-yard line. He may have another first down close to the 30. Joe, it appears from here. They set up the wall out front. Wilson, after he caught the ball, made his little turn and could have easily slipped and fallen down, but he stayed with it, kept his feet, and it's a first down to about the 29-yard line, it appears, of Warrensburg Latham.
Yeah, it was a great screen set up by the blocks of McCleary and Leggett on the right side as he just followed them and he picked up the first down.
Opening possession of the third period for the Clinton Maroons. It's fumbled on the ground. It's picked up by Sams. Now he's under pressure. He's going to just freelance and run with it. Gets a little bit of a block out front as he runs around the left corner, and he's grabbed from Freebarn and thrown down out of bounds at the 19-yard line. It looked like an attempted handoff in the backfield that was dropped on the ground, but Nate heads up, picks it back up, and runs it for about 10 yards on the play, and he's close to another first down. I think he might have it near the 18-yard line. They'll look it over, and they motion first down as the rain starts to fall again here at Warrensburg Latham.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, and I say it again. Sometimes Nate's best work is when it's a broken play, and he has to do things kind of on his own, and that was just a tremendous play. Picked the ball up off the ground, ran to the left side for first down.
Rain's getting harder. Wilson tries the right-hand side and gets it down inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line. Raindrops keep falling on my head. I know, save it for a karaoke night, right? How much forward progress did they give him? Close to the 10-yard line, just inside the 10. Gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3 for the Clinton Maroons. They're moving in close for a score that could give them the lead back. They trail 20-15. Wilson bounces off a blocker out front, tries to get outside, and he's gathered in and dropped after a short gain. They need to get it to about the 7-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, Wilson looked to have a hole, but then Bart Hickey closed it quickly and slung Wilson down for a little gain.
I'm trying to protect my papers here, as you are. He's about a yard short of the first down. 3rd and 1 near the 8.5-yard line for the Clinton Maroons as they move toward the west goal. Split backfield. One wide out to the right-hand side. They'll try to push toward the center, and the ball might have come loose. They're scrambling for it. Didn't see any signal yet from the officials. If it's recovered by the Maroons, they'll have a first down, and the Maroons have the football. Apparently it was a live ball, and I think Lucas Ward came off the bottom of the pile with the ball, and it's going to be a first down for the Maroons on that wild scramble, Joe.
Yeah, it was Lucas. Nate was actually down a yard upfield, but he fumbled forward, and Lucas fell on it, so easily the Maroons get the first down.
The rain is falling pretty hard. It's coming straight down now. There's not that much wind with it. Sam's on another quarterback keeper from around the 4-yard line, pushing and maybe getting another yard or so. They're still pushing. Looks like rugby out there, and they finally blow it dead. We'll see how much forward progress they give the Maroons this time. They'll have a 2nd and goal after this particular play. And with the rain falling, obviously the Maroons wanting to be careful with that football out there and not get carried away on some handoffs or anything.
Yeah, they tried to run it, but that time Travis Knight there for Warrensburg, Jeremy Knight for Warrensburg stopped that play before they could pick up some yards.
2nd and goal from the 1-yard line for the Maroons. Again, they split the backfield. Sam's under center. He's going to hand it off. And I believe it was Wilson trying the right-hand side, and he's in for the score. The Maroons have regained the lead in this ball game with 8:09 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. The Maroons lead by 1, 21-20 on the hard run right at the middle, the right-hand side of the line.
And once again, he followed Big Clyde Leggett and Kevin McCleary on that right side like he had the touchdown before halftime. And good blocks, and he found his way.
I don't even know if I can write down the scoring plays. I'm going to have to try to memorize these in the second half of play because the rain is coming down hard. We have no shelter here at Warrensburg Latham, but neither do the players, so we're going to be tough and hang in there right with them. Josh Wilson on to try the extra point attempt for the Maroons to try to give the Maroons a 2-point lead. Sams has the placement down. The kick is on the way. It looks excellent from here, and it is good. Timeout on the field. 8:09 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. The Maroons have scored on their opening drive in the 3rd quarter of play, and they've regained the lead from Warrensburg Latham, 22-20. Warrensburg, as I imagine it probably is in Clinton, and it's falling on this football game, Joe, but the Maroons, you know, they've talked about being a team that responds to bad weather. We remember a couple of years ago when it started pouring in the Central Catholic game, and boy, they came right out and moved it down the field, scored a touchdown. They got to get fired up when the rain starts falling, don't they, out in football games?
Yeah, you mentioned that Central Catholic game. That was a big 15-14 win for the Maroons a few years ago, and I've talked to several guys. Clyde Leggett sticks out in my mind. He said he loves to play in the rain, so they do respond.
The kickoff fumbled momentarily by Warrensburg. Now they're going to kick it outside, and still loose on the feet, and finally brought down. Lucas Ward makes the tackle at around the 31-yard line or so. We'll try to pick up these Warrensburg players. Obviously, we know some of them from watching the first half of play, but our rosters are getting pretty soaked, and it's going to be hard to pick up some of their players out there from time to time, but they got the return to the 31-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, that was Jones on that play, the play that bumped into Freeburn when they fumbled the first play of the game. And he got a nice return. He ran it out of bounds after he got past the 30.
I think Thad Harnett had a hold of him, but it's slippery conditions out there. He was able to get out of Thad's grasp, and then Lucas Ward finally made the tackle on the play. At the 31-yard line for the Cardinals, 1st and 10. Reed will hand it off, and Freebarn breaks it up the middle, gets a nice low tackle from Schumacher, but he got a quick pop of about 5 yards on the play to the 36-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, 2nd and 5 coming up for the Cardinals.
Yeah, good tackle by Schumacher coming up from the secondary spot. He's the one that hit Freeburn.
So near the 36,
play.
Excuse me?
Oh, I just said on the trap play.
Near the 36, maybe almost the 37-yard line. You're standing up, I'm sitting down, we're both soaking wet. It's hard to communicate.
Well, I'm trying to shield the stats.
And that's all right. There's a flag on the play as they get the first down yardage out near the 46-yard line, but back along the line, it looks like there might be a holding penalty coming up, Joe.
Yeah, it looked like
they're
Ashton.
waving off. They're saying it's a face mask. My mistake. Somebody got the face mask. So that's a big penalty against the Maroons instead.
Yeah, well, on the tackle, Schumacher might have grabbed the face mask. That'd be the only.
Well, the flag was thrown way back along the line of scrimmage, which is the reason why I thought maybe it was a hold, but apparently that's not the case. So Gabe Ward had the good run for the first down, but they'll probably take the penalty yardage and still have the first down. Let's wait and see. The official talking it over with the Warrensburg Latham captain and also with the coach along the sideline, but the captain, who's the quarterback on offense, Shane Reed, makes the call for their team. And they'll move it out into Maroon territory to the 48-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for Warrensburg Latham. This is starting to look like one of those ball games where whoever has the ball last might be the team that wins this ball game, the way we're going back and forth.
Yeah, it certainly does, and that's a big penalty, Larry. There's a few last week that hurt the Trojans on that type of play, not the Maroons, but it certainly extends drives.
Reed under center. He'll turn and hand it off. Freebarn out of the I formation, just running hard up the middle, and the Maroons have him surrounded. Schumacher in on the play. Wes Graves there, and Josh Wilson and others in on the tackle. And a gain of only about 2 yards to the 46-yard line. We're down to 6:50 to go in the third quarter play. Clinton has regained the lead 22-20 after moving the ball downfield on their opening drive.
Yeah, Warrensburg's trying to stick to the game plan, wanting to run the ball up the middle with Freeburn, but once again, the Maroons' stingy defense not allowing a lot of yardage to the middle. It's been the outsides, really, that have hurt the Maroons.
By the way, Monticello, the Maroons' opponent next week, is leading at halftime at home in their ball game against Argenta Oriana, 14-0. Freebarn will try the left-hand side, caught from behind and brought down by the Maroons defense. And that's Clyde Leggett, your halftime interview on the radio broadcast, who made the tackle on the play, and he gets up a happy man slapping his hands together.
Yeah, he came from the opposite side, chased him down from behind, and threw him down for a loss.
It'll be third down and still about 8.5 or so to go for a first down for Warrensburg Latham. They're at the 47 of the Maroons. And the rain is letting up a little bit. It's still falling, but it's more of a light rain now falling here at Warrensburg Latham. They just keep turning the spigot up and down from time to time on us here. Reed will fake and roll out right. Has pressure to space. Pops it over the middle. He's got Hickey there. He dropped it on the ground. He had the catch, but with the slippery conditions out there, Joe, he caught it down low, and then as he tried to pull it up, it slipped out of his hands and fell between his legs, incomplete, and that's a big break for the Maroons because he was open out there and had enough for the first down or very close to it.
Yeah, the ball was slippery, and of course he's a big guy, and the throw was kind of low. He had to reach down in between his legs, and he just lost his grip. And that's a big play for the Maroons because you figure if he catches that, he'll rumble the few yards they needed for the first down.
Freebarn on the punt again, has the snap, boots it away. Good kick. The Schumacher may try to return this time, and will so from the 10. Being held onto by just a strap, and he's pulled down on the play at about the 12-yard line. Weber got him first and got some help on the play to finish him off from Brent Ward, who's a 5'9", 170-pound senior for Warrensburg Latham. So the Maroons will start real deep on this possession here with 5 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the third period of play.
Yeah, it was just a great job by Weber that time to hang on. I thought Schumacher was going to break that tackle and get a bigger gain, but he hung on to that ankle and got some help. So that plants the Maroons deep in their own territory.
Well, the Maroon offense moved the ball well in their opening series, but it started a lot closer to midfield than this one. We will start this time from about the 13 or 14-yard line. And Igems is open over the middle. They got the ball to him, but he couldn't quite make it. It was up high, and Igems going up in the air couldn't quite gather that one in. Pretty good throw from Nate. Again, it was a little high, but there was a chance for Bob to catch that football about 15 yards downfield.
Yeah, they ran Bobby out to the middle of the field, and as you mentioned, the throw was a little high, but Nate made sure that it was to only where Bobby could catch the ball. If he doesn't, I mean, Warrensburg doesn't have a chance to intercept it.
Igems now will line up in the backfield. Full house backfield for the Maroons, and Sams will turn an option right. He's keeping the football. He's still keeping the football and gets to the 20 and to about the 21-yard line. Had an opportunity to pitch to Rich, but still made the best of the opportunity running it himself. And he'll be just short of the first down by a couple of yards as they bring it back toward the hash marks. We'll see, maybe about 2 yards short of the first down, it appears. A gain of about 8. 5 minutes to go in the third period of play. Clinton is leading 22-20 here at rain-soaked Warrensburg Latham High School.
Nice job by Sands that time, picking his way, being patient and getting more yards. Normally quarterbacks just charge through there, and he wouldn't have got as many yards as he did if he did that.
From near the 21 with the I formation this time. He'll turn and hand it to the first man through. Wilson running hard. I think he's got the forward progress as he's thrown back. But he is very close to the 25-yard line, Joe, and that should be more than enough for another Maroon first down.
Yeah, with the referee's mark nearest to us, it looks like he has it. And it looks like that they want to mark it as a first. Yeah, they are. It's
First down. Just short of the 25 for the Clinton Maroons, so they threw deep on the first down play, but got the good option run by Sams on second down, and then the short run for the first down by Wilson. And they punched it out now close to the 25-yard line. Clock rolling with 4.5 minutes to go in the third period of play. Split backfield this time. Sam's dropping back. Quick pass out here to Schumacher. Makes a nice catch. Now we'll try to run one-on-one against his man. Breaks a couple of tackles as Moore come over to help out, but he makes a good first down run. Shu is just so hard to bring down, and he got lots of extra yardage just knocking tacklers away and pulling forward for the additional yardage before they could hang on tight enough to pull him down. He's out to the 37-yard line with a first down for the Maroons.
Yeah, and those are the high percentage type of passes you can use in this type of weather. Not a long route. You throw it out there for a few yards and let Schumacher run, and he picked up the first down on it before Hughes could stop him.
They spot it back at the 36. Sams will turn and option right again. Not much of an opening. The ball's knocked out of his hands. It's loose on the ground. Race for the ball, and I think the Maroons got it back. We'll wait and see. It is a Maroons recovery.
Looks like Adam Moore.
Adam Moore was the man that got there between two red shirts and got the ball back for the Maroons. Somebody just stripped the ball out of Sam's hands, reached through and poked it out of his hands. It's wet. It's slippery down there. And they made the defensive play to give Warrensburg the chance, but the Maroons got it back in the recovery by Moore.
Yeah, fortunately, it's just a big loss for the Maroons and not a Warrensburg ball now.
Yeah, they would have had good field position. It is a loss of 9 yards on the play. The Maroons are now at their own 28. Sam's back to pass. Looking downfield, has to look to the right-hand side for Igems, and it's broken up incomplete. That one thrown in a little bit of traffic for Igems, who was cutting over the middle, and there defensively was Eric Freebar to knock it away and break it up. It'll be third down and about 19 coming up for the Maroons.
Yeah, good job by the other Freebairn that time, knocking the ball away. It was passed right to Bobby, though. It's just a great defensive play.
Well, the Maroons' drive was moving well until the fumble, and now they've got a big third down and almost 20 to go. Sams will throw short for Schumacher. Hook and ladder, Rich, and he's raced out of bounds at about, what, the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. So he's still about 10 yards short of the first down. Good job by Warrensburg Latham to cover up on that one and make sure that they had Rich covered. Schumacher made the catch on the short pass and then dumped it off to Rich, but they ran him out of bounds after about a 10-yard gain. So it's fourth down and 9, and Sams is back to punt the football. They'll drop 2 deep.
Yeah, they just did get it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Weber and Friend are back, and the kick going the way of Weber. He drops it on the ground and falls on top of it. It slipped through his hands, but he fell on top of the ball at the 44-yard line, and Warrensburg will take over first and 10 there. It's still raining, not real hard right now, but hard enough to keep us staying a bit wet out here. And we have 3 minutes and 1 second to go in the third period of play. Clinton with a touchdown here in the third period of play. Leads by 2, 22-20. The crowd is a lot smaller than it was when we started the ball game, Joe. But we still have a lot of people out here with umbrellas and...
well, I think they're in their cars, too.
Yeah, they might be. And some soaking wet people, although they don't allow the cars to park around the football field too much. Just a few out there at the edge of the parking lot can see the field from their cars, I would think. So Warrensburg starting first and 10 at their own 44-yard line. And they'll give it to Freebarn. He finds a little opening, but then is cut down low after he popped it across the 45 to about the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. And he took a stinger, and he is slow getting up, Joe. He took a hard rap on that tackle, and something hurts right now. He gets up to his feet, but he is limping and favoring one of his legs as he gets back up.
Yeah, Schumacher hit him pretty good. It was a pretty good low hit. Hit him right in the thigh area. That's what might be hurting. And he's going to have to go out. They bring in Jason Weber for him. But just a great job by Schumacher there. He's had a few good punishing tackles on Freebairn.
That was a good low tackle, a good solid hit. Cut him down after a gain of 2. Matt Freebarn will go out. We'll see him back, but he's got to work that painful hit off just a little bit. Out of the I formation now. Reed has the football, fakes the handoff, pops it over the middle. He's got Hickey. Good solid hit, but Hickey's got the first down, it would appear from here, as he's finally shoved off. What a nice big target he is for Warrensburg Latham. He gives Reed a nice big target. He has got good hands. He dropped a pass a little bit ago, but he's been pretty sure-handed out there on some of his pass catches so far in this ball game.
Yeah, that's about the only one that he has dropped that's went his direction, Larry. And, yeah, he does give up a big target, and you almost have to have 2 guys to tackle him.
He gives Warrensburg a first down at the 45-yard line of Clinton. Clock is down to 1:42 and running to go in the third period of play. The rain is picking up a little bit again. It's not coming down super hard, but it's coming down nonetheless. Reed will hand it off. First man through the middle, and it's Weber who gets the call, I believe, this time, or is it 32 instead? We'll wait as they unravel. They say it's Ward, Gabe Ward, 32, the uniform number. And he got a couple of yards before Schumacher and others surround him and make the tackle. They give him forward progress of 3 yards to the 42-yard line of Clinton, and the rain is picking up, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and once again, they're trying to stay toward the middle, but not working very successfully.
So with this game winding down in the third period of play, Clinton with the only points in the third period, trying to hang on to their lead. A 2nd and 7 for Warrensburg Latham. Reed rolling back, under pressure, throws the pass. Ward makes the catch, but is immediately wrapped up and tackled on the play by a hustling Nate Sams, who cut him down after a very short gain on the play. They will give him the catch to the 40-yard line, and it's a gain of a yard or two more. They'll have third down and a good 5 to go for the first down, it appears, Joe.
Yes, and they forced that Reed that time to throw the ball before he really wanted to, as Lucas Ward and Josh Wilson were both there. And I think that they wanted to string that pattern out a little bit longer, but he didn't have time.
Out of the I formation, Reed back to pass, looking down the right sideline, and the Maroons are in front of that pass and almost get crossed up a little bit there, but knock it to the ground incomplete, as both Duggins and Graves were there, and both had a hand on the football, or close to it anyway, to break it up.
Yeah, they tried to hit Langston. He was triple covered. There's another Maroon there. He didn't touch the ball, though. Graves and...
Obviously, the loss of Matt Freeburn for a couple of plays there hurt Warrensburg Latham's drive. They now have fourth down. He's in there to punt the football, though. On fourth down and about 5. Beware of a fake here. Nope, it's snapped back to him. It's a low snap. Not a lot of pressure by the Maroons. He gets the kick away. Schumacher will let it go over his head and into the end zone and through the end zone for a touchback. So with just 10 seconds remaining in the third period of play, Clinton will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Time for them to possibly run one play before we end this third quarter of play, which has seen Clinton come from a 20-15 deficit to score 7 points early in this period to take a 22-20 lead. And that's what the Maroons are trying to hold on to and possibly build on at this point. The rain's still falling, a nice steady rain at this point. I say nice, I really don't mean that from a appreciative standpoint, sitting on top of the box and getting soaked. First down run up the middle by the Maroons. And Wilson got a couple of yards, I believe it was. As time runs out, he'll get a gain of 2, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Maroons at the 22, and we start play in the fourth period. After a message from one of our sponsors, the score, Clinton 22, Warrensburg Latham 20.
There's nothing like an exciting game to work up an appetite. At Subway, we have just the cure for your hunger. Choose from our wide selection of hot subs, like the steak and cheese, or choose a cold sub, like the Subway Club. Top it off with a bag of chips, a cold beverage, and some fresh baked cookies, and you've got a great meal. We're open 24 hours for your convenience, so come on down to Subway, where fresh is the taste. Subway in Clinton, a proud sponsor of the Clinton Maroons.
Joe, that was a good third period for the Clinton Maroons when you think about the fact they gave up 20 points in that first half of play, but kept Warrensburg Latham off the scoreboard in quarter number 3, and they have come now from 5 points down to lead by 2 points entering the fourth period of play. You got to feel better about the way the defense is slowing down this attack of Warrensburg Latham.
Yeah, good steady defense, and with the ball is what it is. It's hard to drive, and especially now with Freeburn being hurt, he'll probably be back by the next drive, though, but it's going to be tough to mount a drive, I think, with these conditions, and if they can just hold on to this lead and nail down the win.
Well, Freeburn was in there to punt a moment ago, but he also plays defense for them. He's a valuable member of their team on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and he's on the sideline right now. He is not in there at the moment. So we'll see if the Maroons can exploit the fact that he's not out there. Now, we're having a long conversation out there on the football field with the head official, and I see it looks like Wally Urban and Chuck Nagel talking with that official out there, and I have no idea what that's about on the far side of the football field. Do you have any guess at this point, Joe, as they talk on the far side of the football field?
No.
Wild guess? No. The Chuck's wanting an explanation of something, and I can't think of any play that has occurred recently that would cause for this question, but I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I can't come up with a guess on my own what it could be. Maroons' final game of the regular season is next Friday night at home against Monticello. And if the Maroons can maintain this lead and win this ball game here tonight, it would be a most important ball game. The Maroons need the victory tonight and then next week to finish 6-3 and have a chance at making the playoffs. And they have a pretty good chance at making it if they can finish with the 6-3 record. It's no sure absolute thing. It depends upon how other teams throughout the state do with their 6-3 records and how their opponents have done and the point system and so on. But the Maroons have a pretty good point total if things continue the way they are and should get in. But it's no sure thing, as we said. But the first thing they got to do is win this one and then win next week against Monticello. So it could be a very key ball game to wrap up the season. And, of course, the Maroons want to pay back Monticello a little bit for that wild ball game we had last year over there at their place last year, Joe.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The Maroons don't need anything to psych them up for the final game. As I talked with a lot of guys. Nate Sands specifically mentioned that he wanted to beat them because they also beat the basketball team once and beat the baseball team a few times during the regular season. We got them in the postseason, though, but yeah, they definitely want to pay them back for last year.
Now, the officials are talking to the Warrensburg Latham coach at this time. They quit talking with Chuck and Wally and the Maroon coaching staff, jogged over here to the near side. They're having a conversation. I'm not sure if it has to do with the ball they're using in the game or what the situation is. They might be discussing that. You know, each team has an opportunity to use their own football when they're on offense. Of course, tonight's, I'm sure, a tough night for the ball boy to keep the ball dry, and maybe that's what it's about. Joe, do you have any new information for us at this time?
Well, they just said that they've got a compound that'll dry the ball, and they're debating whether they're going to use it or not.
Do the officials have the compound, or did we provide that, and we are providing that for the officials to possibly use if they can get the okay from the Warrensburg Latham coach? And I assume just on our ball, but I suppose we have to share it with them if we do that. So that's the case. We've got John Heap, who, of course, is shooting video up here for the coaching staff, and a couple of the coaches up here on top of the box. So we've got some communication with the sideline with the coaching staff up here, and that's how we're getting that information. So we'll see if the Warrensburg coach gives the okay or not on that.
Doesn't look like he is.
Yeah, he's kind of waving his arms around, but I'm not sure if that's a, well, okay, go ahead, or if that's a, no, I don't want you to use it. A long conversation about it. You know, again, we're playing under some tough conditions here, rain falling. It's still falling. Not a heavy rain right now, Joe. Although we're so soaked, it's kind of hard for us to tell how
well, just a few drops every now and then coming.
We look up in the lights, and it doesn't look like it's raining near as hard as it has at times during this ball game. So a long delay in the ball game. We still have a full quarter of action to go, starting the fourth period of play. And they're taking the bag off to the side. I guess we are going to provide a bag of that drying substance to put on the football. The official is explaining it to the ball boy here on the near sideline for Warrensburg Latham. And apparently he can use that on their football if they wish to do so. So we're trying to do what we can to have an opportunity to keep that ball dry and keep it in our hands. But you got to offer it to the other team apparently also, we're assuming.
Wish I could have had that compound for this scorebook, though.
Does it soak up water off drenched equipment, too?
Yeah,
Can we sprinkle that on our microphones? Kind of like you do, I don't know, powdered sugar on something? All right, that's what it looks like. It looks like a powdery substance down there in the bag. Well, we're ready to start playing football again. And the Warrensburg crowd kind of lets out a sarcastic yell in front of us. 2nd and 8 is the situation for the Clinton Maroons. Nate Sams waits for the official to say it's okay to start play in quarter number 4. 2nd and 8, Sams fakes. He'll throw off Schumacher's hands, and it almost tipped all the way upfield to Igems, but goes incomplete. They were trying to hit Schumacher for the short gainer, and it tipped off his hands and almost came upfield farther to Igems. If he'd been able to catch that, he was behind the defenders, and he would have been downfield with the ball.
Yeah, and it was fortunate for another reason. Shane Reed was closing on the ball that time, and it looked like it was going to overshoot Shu, and he actually kind of acted like a defender that time because it looked like Reed had a better play on it than he did, and he knocked it away from him.
That could have been 6 for Warrensburg when you look at it that way. Schumacher Igens goes wide to the left. I formation. Sams dropped the ball on the ground, picks it back up, and he's going to be dropped for a big loss on the play all the way back to near the 12-yard line.
Knight gobbled him up after he dropped the ball.
Jeremy Knight's been everywhere for Warrensburg Latham on that line of scrimmage, and he was in there in no time. Of course, it didn't help when Nate didn't have the ball from the start of the play. So if we are using that drying substance, it didn't do the job on that particular play. 4th down and 16 to go for a first down. And the Maroons deep will have to punt from their own 13-yard line. Sam standing just short of the goal line. Good snap back to him, has plenty of time, gets the kick away. A high kick, not real deep. It's coming down and bounces. Good bounce for Clinton at about the 30, 35, now the 37, 38-yard line where the Maroons down at Schumacher there. I was wondering if it might strike one of the Warrensburg players that didn't know it was coming down short, but it did not. It didn't strike anybody as it came down and hit the ground, and it rolled dead closer to the 39-yard line in Clinton territory. So Warrensburg Latham gets good field position, and Matt Freeborn is back into the ball game, Joe, for this series here early in the 4th period of play. Clinton leading 22-20.
Yeah, it's too bad the ball didn't drift a bit. Big Knight was in the area there. Jeremy Knight almost came over and hit him. Too bad it didn't.
At least for the moment, we can put our hood down. The rain is pretty well stopped.
I didn't have a hood.
Well, you should come prepared. First down, Reed rolling out left, under some pressure, gets the short pass off, but led 2 receivers in that area. One out of the backfield in Ward, and the other one Hickey from his tight end spot. Led him too much, and it drops incomplete.
He was short of both of them, too. As Nate and Randy had the coverage.
My hands are shriveling up here, Joe.
Oh, mine aren't.
Look at that. You know, it's like I've been in the shower too long, it looks like. Soaking wet. 10:47 to go in the 4th period of play. 22-20. Clinton with the lead, but Warrensburg with a good opportunity here. At the 39 of Clinton with a 2nd and 10. Reed rolling back again, firing it out here. Deflected by Graves and almost caught by Schumacher. Graves made the defensive play to break it up, and it almost deflected in the hands of Schumacher, but off his fingertips. An incomplete 3rd and 10 coming up for Warrensburg.
Yeah, he was trying to hit Langston to the sidelines, but it was good coverage, and actually it was a low throw because Graves was dropping back from his line spot and just hit the ball and saw it out of the corner of his eye and deflected it, and as you mentioned, Schumacher almost caught it. And if he did, he probably would have went all the way.
So the Cardinals with a 3rd down and 10 now at the 39-yard line of Clinton. Still early in the 4th period of play. Big play here for the Cardinals especially. Trying to get back in position to regain the lead. Heavy pressure. Reed is able to get the handoff off, though, and Freeborn very close to the first down. Let's see how close he came to it as he is down to the 30-yard line and maybe inside the 30, close to the 29. From here, he looks like he might be just short, but they do have a 4th down play coming up if they need it.
And that was unfortunate. Josh Wilson had a tremendous push. He just hit the wrong hole, and I don't know how Freeborn got around him, but he did.
I thought he still had the football momentarily, but then I saw he got the handoff off in just a nick of time. And Warrensburg has a 4th and 1, and of course they will go for it just inside the 30-yard line of Clinton. 4th and a long yard.
I don't think they're going to pass.
There's a whistle before the snap of the football, and flags are flying as they actually run the play. Ward went up the middle and had the first down yardage, but there is a flag. And which way is it? Procedure against Warrensburg Latham.
Procedure penalty against the Cardinals.
10 minutes to go in the ball game. And this one will push Warrensburg back instead of having 4th and short. That's a costly penalty, Joe. They'll have 4th and a lot longer now.
Yeah, and now they might actually have to pass as it'll bring up about a 4th and 6. And anytime you do that, I mean, especially with Warrensburg's line, I mean, you go from a high percentage chance of making the first down to a very low percentage now.
They're back to near the 35-yard line. As you said, about a 4th and 6 as Weber runs the play in from the sideline and gives it to Shane Reed, their quarterback. Cardinals break it and bring it to the line of scrimmage. Still a lot of time to go, 9:45, but again, this is a big play here for Warrensburg. From the T formation, Reed rolling out left. He's grabbed by the short sleeve and dumped for a loss on the play. Was that Lucas Ward? No. Jimmy Savage was the man that caught him by the short sleeve and held on and brought him down.
He was unblocked, Larry. He just went through the hole and grabbed him down by his uniform.
And dropped him for a loss of about 3 yards on the play as he was starting that roll out left and I guess going to look downfield to throw, but it didn't get very far. He wasn't too far from center when he was caught and drugged down for the loss, and the Maroons take over on downs. 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Wilson, quick pop up the middle, running hard. He's across the 45 and up to the 46-yard line. That's a good first down run for Josh Wilson of about 8 yards or so.
Yeah, they popped him open on the right side. Good block by not only Clyde and Kevin, but also Schumacher, who came in as a tight end on that play, and that's what sprung it.
Actually, it's almost 9 yards on the play. We'll still call it 2nd and 2 from the 46-yard line. Sams will hand it off again. Oh, it almost got away, but I think Wilson held on to it. Did you see him? He had the ball down around his right hip, and he pulled it back up, and it did not come away. And he gets the first down on the run, close to midfield to about the 49-yard line.
Yeah, and also I think Weber of Warrensburg had an arm on it and almost dragged it away from him, but you're right, it was just a tremendous play by Wilson to hold on.
Phil, can you see the ball on TV, or is that right behind the light pole? Right behind the light pole. Right behind the light pole. Well, take my word for it. The ball is just short of midfield and a 1st and 10 for Clinton. You'll see Sams in just a moment here with the football if you don't already. He fakes the handoff. Option left. Struck at the line of scrimmage and no gain on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. We're down to 8.5 minutes to go in the ball game. 22-20. Clinton with a 2-point lead, and Maroons certainly would like some insurance points here to try to build up this lead a little bit. 2 points is just not enough to feel comfortable by any means, of course, Joe.
Yeah, the way this game has gone, you need all the points you can get, and that time Nate stopped by Knight for little gain.
You know what, it was 2015 at halftime, Warrensburg-Latham. We've only had 7 points scored in the second half so far. Sams, deep drop, hands it off. Rich trying to find a little opening, only got a yard or so before he's clobbered at the 48-yard line and dropped to the ground. It'll be 3rd down and 8 after Randy Rich's 2-yard gain on the play. And a couple of Warrensburg players pretty slow getting up. Although I think he's all right. One of those guys that's hobbling a little bit is their big man, Jeremy Knight. But he's going to stay in there. He looks like he might have taken a little bit of a hit. He's got his hands on his knees now, Joe, and along that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and he could be getting winded, too. We're at the point where the big guys are kind of breathing in, kind of heavy.
Big play here for the Clinton Maroons with 7.5 to go. Short drop. Sam's wanting to throw. Pops it over the middle. Graves makes the catch, and he's got the first down. What a great throw by Sams. He had somebody grabbing his shoulder pads when he threw the ball, and give Wes Graves credit for great concentration and gathering that one in right over the middle.
And he threaded the needle, too, as Warrensburg had him double covered. Number 34 and number 11 for Warrensburg were right there. And he just threw it in and hit him in between the 4 and the 9 on his uniform and picked up the first down.
Great call by the Maroons coaching staff. Great execution by Sams and Graves. Maroons with a first down, and Wilson will try the right-hand side and get only maybe a yard to the 34-yard line. As the first down pass play went to the 35 a moment ago. Of course, that keeps the clock running with that running play down to just over 7 minutes to go in the 4th period of play. Clinton still leading 22-20 and with their hands on the football right now.
Yeah, not only an insurance score, but also if you run a lot of time off that clock, that'd be really huge for the Maroons defense that already does a good job stopping teams in the second half.
Gain of about a yard on that play. Now we'll try a little misdirection, but not much there for Rich. He might have got 1 more yard or so. So again, the Maroons are going to be forced with a 3rd down and long situation here, just inside the 35 at about the 34-yard line. It's still, actually, it's about 3rd down and close to 9 for the Maroons. So with 6.5 to go, let's see what the Maroons come up with this time.
Yeah, Randy didn't get much of a hold that time. Geppinger stepped in and tackled him before he could get upfield. And only 1 back in the backfield now.
3rd down and a short 9. Igems goes in motion. They'll quick pitch it to him. He'll try to get around the left corner, but they've got good pursuit. He won't get the first down. Weber runs him out of bounds after a very little gain at the 34-yard line. The Maroons are, though, inside the 35 and possibly in 4-down territory here. Unless with a 2-point lead, we want to just punt this one and put them in real deep. I'd like to see us get another first down, but this is a tough call either way you look at it. It's 4th down, and still, from where they're spotting the football, still almost 9 yards to go for a first down at the 34, Joe.
Yeah, Weber wasn't fooled. He ran Igems out of bounds as Warrensburg studied their tapes, a play the Maroons have used a couple times, and obviously trying to use Igem's speed to get the first down, just couldn't do it.
Sams is going to line up in shotgun formation, it appears. Weber's having trouble with his helmet after the tackle, trying to get that equipment squared away. I think he's got all kinds of mud in the helmet after making that tackle. They're trying to get that out of there. So we've got 3 wideouts to the right-hand side. Are the Maroons going to actually punt the football out of this formation, or will they try to run the fake and get the first down with a pass? We'll see.
They're covering them all and nobody deep.
High snap. Here's the boot. Oh, it's off the side of his foot, and it's going to come right into the Warrensburg bench out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Nate had to hurry it, and it went right off the right side of his foot and only went upfield about 2 yards, Joe. And Warrensburg will take over at their own 32-yard line.
Unfortunate for the Maroons is Larry's right, just dubbed it off the end of his foot, only a few yards, and now that'll give Warrensburg not bad field position to start their drive to try to come back.
Keep in mind, you know Nate has to be thinking a little bit about that Meridian game where we had 3 kicks blocked in that particular game, and he saw the pressure coming out of that formation, and he hurried it and shanked it off the side of his foot with that pressure. So at their own 32, Warrensburg gets another shot halfway through the 4th period of play. So the wind starts to kick up again here. Back to pass is Reed. Quick pop, and he threw it behind his intended receiver here on the near side of the football field. Langston, incomplete, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, he really gave Langston no chance that time. Just a quick slant. Schumacher had given him some room, but he fell down, and the pass was a few yards behind him. He didn't have a shot at all catching that.
Well, the rain is not falling at the moment, but it's wet out there on that football field from rain that started with about 2 minutes ago in the first half of play. And at times, very heavy rain during halftime, and then another good spurt during the 3rd quarter of play. But right now, with 6 minutes to go, in the 4th period of play, no rain falling, but wind is picking up a little bit out of the west. Into the face of Reed, who wants the pass. Pops it over the middle, wobbly pass. Schumacher's there, and he makes the interception. Bobbled it a bit, but he came up with the ball at the 44-yard line, and the Maroons have the ball back on the pick. He had Langston covered man for man. He had the inside track, and he was able to take that one away from Langston rather easily, although it almost fell out of his hands.
Yeah, they ran the post pattern, tried to get it to Langston. Schumacher saw the ball all the way, made a good play on it, and as he's done before, picked the ball off. He's done it many times, and Larry was right. He bobbled it, but he still was able to hang on using his great hands.
Yeah, he actually ended up catching the ball after it hit him up around the chest, around his knees. He grabbed it again before it hit the ground. Maroons take over at the 43-yard line. Again, they'll try Rich up the middle, and he got just a little bit of running room, maybe a yard gain. But Maroons runs up the middle right now, even though their little misdirections from time to time aren't gaining much yardage. And Warrensburg, I think, has used a timeout here. We'll take timeout also. 5:34 left to go in the 4th period of play. Clinton has the ball and are holding on to a 2-point lead, 22-20. On 2nd down and still almost 10. Sams wants to throw, pops it out there to Schumacher, makes the catch near midfield and is pushed back immediately, but it will be a gain on the play of about 5 or 6 yards on the play for the Maroons, and bring up a 3rd down in about 3. Well, they spot him back. He had the catch initially at the 50, but they, I guess, say he was trying to make forward progress, so they took some yardage away from him. Schumacher's just caught a pass, and a gain of about 4 yards on the play, as it turns out. And then Warrensburg uses another timeout. You know, there's a lot of time left in this game, Joe, but it looks like Warrensburg says, we got to do it now. They're using their timeouts here to try to save as much time for their offense as possible when they get the ball back.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Already 5.5 left. There is some time. You don't think they'd use them up all by now, but I don't know. They're trying to save as much time as possible, I guess, like you mentioned.
It's getting very windy out here, Joe, and I'm having trouble understanding a lot what you're saying. You might try to keep your microphone out of the wind as much as possible, but that's going to be hard to do because it's really kicking up out here. Oh, good. First we had rain and some wind. Now we've got just heavy winds blowing. 3rd down, and we'll call it 5 for the Maroons, just short of midfield near the 48-yard line. Sams is back to pass, rolling out right. It's a screen pass and can't be held on to by Wilson. It goes incomplete. They had it set up. They had Leggett and Harnett out front ready to make the blocks, but it was thrown a little high and a little hard, and Josh Wilson with the wet ball couldn't hang on to it. It's 4th down and 5 for the Maroons, and I guess we'll have to punt again. Did Warrensburg use another timeout here?
No, the ball stops because it hit
no
the
need
turf.
for him to, because the clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Maroons are going to line up and make it look like they're going for it. They're going to try to pull them across here on 4th down and 5, and they did it! They did it, and who was the first man across there, Joe? The big number 73 came across there. He's played a whale of a ball game, but Nate was able to pull him across the line of scrimmage, and it appears the Maroons will be very close to a 1st down if the penalty yardage is enough to get them the 1st down.
And that was obvious. I mean,
the officials are discussing it like there's a little question about it. Yeah, they offsides. Warrensburg Latham, go ahead.
But you figure the Maroons were just doing that to try to draw them offsides. It's a play that they've used many times. It's one of their pet plays, and
got to drive a coach crazy.
I mean, Knight being one of their more experienced players, you'd think he wouldn't bite on it, but he did. He brought some of his friends with him, too.
Okay, Hurricane Opal has arrived here at Warrensburg Latham.
From monsoon to tornado.
And I think the temperature is dropping a little bit, although it's not that bad, but it is cooling off a little bit, as we expected. It is enough yardage for a first down, so the Maroons' offense
Costly penalty.
pulled him across the line of scrimmage with the snap cadence count by Sams. I mean, they made it look like we're going for it from the 48-yard line. Come on, crowd, get into it. They're waving their arms. We're going for it. And he pulled him across and got the first down on the penalty. If they hadn't pulled him across, obviously we would have had to punt the football. Now at the 47 of Warrensburg. The Maroons still with the football. Sams wants to throw with a heavy breeze at his back. He's going to air it out downfield. Schumacher can't make the catch in a little collision down there near the 10-yard line, but he actually looked like he might have pushed in the back of the defender a little bit, so there's no way that we could say anything about any pass interference on the part of Warrensburg Latham on that play. It'll go as an incomplete pass that drops dead at about the 10-yard line. The defender was Jason Stanberry.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to push off to get a little separation there, but I think the ball just carried with that wind. It was kind of a line drive bullet by Nate, and the ball just took off. And
do not adjust your TV or your radio. It's just windy out here. It's very, very windy. Sams tried to option the other way, made a little spin move, a little pirouette, and slipped on the turf and fell down. He fell forward for a yard or two gain. The clock is down to 5 minutes to go in the fourth period of play. The Maroons trying to run out the clock on Warrensburg Latham, leading by 2 points, 22-20. The rain is not falling right now, Joe, but it sure is windy. The wind has really kept up out of the west. It's at the Maroons' back.
And here's the disadvantage of burning up those timeouts early. Now, with that penalty,
That's right.
They can't freeze it.
Can't stop the clock. They may have one timeout remaining, but they might be saving that for offense. Sam's wanting to throw again. Throws it out here for Schumacher. He makes the catch. He beat his man. He's at the 30, 20, trying to outrun everybody. He's at the 5. He showboats and he goes in for the touchdown.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my. He was showboating at the 5, and he almost got caught. And then he said, wait a second, I better pull that back down. And he pulled it in just in time to get it into the end zone for the touchdown. But there is a flag after the score in the back of the end zone. Did that upset some of the Warrensburg Latham players, or what will the call be? The touchdown should still count.
Yeah, he was showboating there at the 5. Weber almost caught him, so he decided to tuck it in again. And but it was just a great play by Schumacher. He juked the defender after he caught it for the touchdown.
Try to put that cover back on there for a second, if you would. Our cover's blowing off for our equipment. Can you tuck it under the other side there? The wind is really whipping stuff around. Now we're awaiting the call from the officials, but as it stands right now, it looks like a touchdown pass play for the Clinton Maroons. I'm just trying to remember what the original line of scrimmage was now after all that took place.
I think it was about 45 yards.
We'll call it 45 yards. He caught it around the 40 and then just turned it upfield and broke into the clear quickly and ran it in the rest of the way for the touchdown. This puts Clinton up by 8 points, 28-20 with 4:31 to go in the ball game. The penalty apparently is against Warrensburg Latham. They must not have appreciated that move by Schumacher a little bit. I didn't continue watching it after they went in the end zone, but we had some unsportsmanlike conduct down there in the end zone, which might have been egged on a little bit, possibly. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Certainly, his gesture of holding the ball high above his head about the 5-yard line might have irritated some Warrensburg Latham players a little bit.
Yeah, kind of moving it back and forth.
And they might have made a little late hit trying to make a little emphasis on their own.
Kind of like Overrocker uses, but you're right. Hot dogging a little bit. But
big extra point here, Joe. This is a big extra point to give the Maroons a 9-point lead. And Wilson will try to kick with the wind at his back. Placement's down. Kicks on the way. It scoots through. No, it's no good. Wide to the right, apparently. It looked good from here, but it is wide to the right. And they got the point on the board. But I don't believe it should be on there. Didn't they motion no good? We'll wait and see. We've got it with a timeout on the field. 4:31 to go in the ball game. 28-20 is the Clinton lead.
They've officially waved it off, so
that's
they'll
right.
take the point off.
We'll take timeout right now. Look good from here, Joe. And they did wave. The officials underneath the goalpost waved no good, but they just announced that it is good, and that's why it's 29-20 on the scoreboard, as we saw, but we were wondering why.
Yeah. Well, that's, of course, a big call now because Warrensburg can't get one touchdown and tie the game. Now they have to get 2 scores to win it, and that's why Warrensburg's coach is down there irate. And I kind of have to agree with them. I don't know how they can just sit there arbitrarily change the call a few minutes later.
A little confusing, but it goes. And after the penalty, after the touchdown, Wilson kicks it all the way through the end zone for a touchback as it wasn't Wilson, but it was Symington who kicked off from the 45 of Warrensburg Latham. So Warrensburg will start first and 10 at their own 20-yard line as the gale winds continue here at Warrensburg Latham.
A little bit of a wind-aided kick, would you say?
He had about at least a 25-mile-an-hour wind behind that, I think. We're losing all our plastic off everything. Hopefully you're getting still a good picture on TV, but we're not sure how much more the camera's going to be able to hold up, and we're also running out of tape, we understand, on the video replay. So hopefully we'll have enough tape to get the final in here. Clinton now leads 29-20. There's 4:31 to go. So here's a big possession for Warrensburg Latham, obviously. Starting for their own 20. The Maroons have shut them out here in the second half so far. And obviously the Maroons are going to play against the big play a little bit. Out of the I formation, Reed has him up to the line of scrimmage. Rolling out, under pressure. He's going to be sacked on the play. Thrown by Josh Wilson for a loss all the way back to the 10-yard line. Josh came through there untouched and just grabbed him and slung him to the ground for a 10-yard loss.
Yeah, just a big play by Josh, and you wonder what's happened to some of that pass protection. I mean, he was hardly touched the first half, and now Adam Moore and Jim Savage and Josh Wilson's gotten there a few times, thrown him back for big losses. It's almost 2nd and 20 now. Score.
I'm getting pneumonia, Joe. The temperature is dropping.
And you have the coat.
Another big rush and another sack on the play as Reed is buried by Josh Wilson again. He was trying to throw the ball, and Josh was in his chest to make the sack as he had to pull it back in, and he's all the way back close to the goal line. They're going to mark him at the 5-yard line, I guess.
And fans, we didn't get the instant replay. That was a different play. Wilson came barreling through.
Yeah, it was a different type of tackle this time, though. He just put his shoulder pads right into his chest and nailed him to the ground instead of just grabbing him and slinging him to the ground like he did on the first tackle. It is 3rd down and 25 for Warrensburg. What a desperate situation now. You're going into the wind, and you got to go 25 yards for a first down, and you're at your own 5-yard line.
Somebody tell Warrensburg it's the wrong goal line they're headed towards.
Reed with some pass protection, airs it out. The wind is holding it up, and it kicks it out of bounds. Good coverage. Randy Rich had the intended receiver on the play. And it's 4th down and 25 coming up. And now the pass intended, by the way, for Jason Stanberry. Now they've got to apparently punt into this wind. Oh, boy, I'd like to try that. This wind is right into the face of Warrensburg Latham, and it is at times gusting, I don't know, I'm guessing at least 25, 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, and do you try to kick it with all your might? Because it might just blow backwards for safety.
I don't know. Unfortunately, that's not my decision to make. 3:03 to go in the ballgame. Clinton now leads on 2 second-half touchdowns, 29-20. Still in the running for a playoff spot if they can hold on here and then win next week at home against Monticello.
Yeah, I wonder if it's almost safer play to run it, and looks like they are.
Yeah, we'll see. And they will just try to punch it out from the goal line. Good safe play. On the 4th down and long, they play it safe. Quarterback Reed just punches it out. He got it out to the 10-yard line, a gain of about 5. Actually, they spot it closer to the 9-yard line. And Clinton offense will take over with excellent field position here with 2:56 to go. Now, what do you do if you're Clinton? Do you add a little insult to injury and go ahead and punch it in there if you can, or you try to be polite and just run out the clock? There's under 3 minutes to go. It's a little difficult to run out the clock here, possibly. And you don't want to hold your players back. You know, I'm sure they want to go for it, knock it in there.
I don't know if you're being polite because there is some time on the clock. So, I mean, you got to play in football every down, so I don't think it's rubbing it in at all.
Sam's under center, turns, fakes the handoff, he'll keep it himself. Good safe run by Nate, tumbles forward. Got a little bit of a gain. We were at the 9, 1st and goal at the 9. He gets it to about the 6, a gain of 3, and a Warrensburg play through slow getting up. They'll stop the clock here with 2:18 to go. Want to just pass along some information here. We are going to wrap this up real quick because of the weather conditions and everything else. Yard line, we'll call it. Nate Sam spins, hands it off. Wilson, big hole, he's in for the touchdown. And the Maroons have iced this one at Warrensburg Latham with 2 minutes and 1 second to go. Boy, it was a gaping hole, and Josh Wilson went in untouched. You and I could have run through that one together, I think. That was such a big hole on the left side of the line.
Yeah, well, start the Buick. You could have drove a car through that hole. Is just plenty of room there. Wilson easily fit through for the touchdown. And you mentioned adding insult to injury. I don't think it is, Larry, because you're just putting the finishing touches on. I mean,
I could go along with that.
Unlikely as it is, they could still conceivably had 2 scores if things fell their way.
There was still enough time. Here's the kick by Wilson. It's through the uprights, and the officials agree this time. It is good. We'll take time out. 2:01 to go in the ball game. Clinton now leads by 16. They lead Warrensburg Latham 36-20. Still 4.5 minutes to go. Clinton led by only 2 points, 22-20, but Ryan Schumacher's catch of a Nate Sams pass and his run afterwards, 45 yards total for the touchdown, broke this game open, and certainly Wilson's run a moment ago for 5 yards out, put the finishing touches. Deep kick, Freeborn bobbles it a bit, picks it up at the 5, tries to break it outside, caught from behind, and run out of bounds by Wes Graves. Good job by Wes. Near the 20-yard line, so Warrensburg will start 1st and 10 at their own 20. This will put Warrensburg at 3-5 on the year and 2-4 in conference play. The Maroons are a solid 4th in the conference now at 4-2 overall, and could be tied for 3rd possibly, depending upon what happens in games today. And we, of course, are now 5-3 on the season, Joe. We just need to win next week, and that'll put us in position, hopefully, to go into the playoffs.
Yeah, it notches the 3rd out of the 4 they needed to win out on, and very important here to pick it up tonight. And Maroons once again answer the bell like they did last year.
Reed on 1st down will turn, and on a little misdirection, give it to Freeborn, trying to center. Gets about 4 yards on the play before Schumacher and Igems and Nate Sams are there to combine on the tackle. A gain of almost 5 on the play. 2nd and 5, the clock down to a minute and a half to go. Again, next Friday night we'll be at home for the final game of the regular season, and Monticello will be the opponent. We heard they were winning at halftime over Argenta. And that should be a real interesting matchup between those two teams. Not a lot of love lost between those two schools the last couple of years. Little misdirection, but the ball carrier slips and falls, and a loss of a couple yards on the play. That'll keep the clock running with 1:12 to go.
That was Friend, his first carry.
Tomorrow morning at 9:30 on WHOW AM and FM radio, Coach's Corner with Coach Chuck Nagel will have it for you, and he'll be happy to talk about this ball game, I'm sure, especially the second half performance of his defense and his offense. And we'll talk about next week's big one against Monticello that could put us in the playoffs for the 3rd straight year if everything works out right.
And then, of course, if you stay tuned in, you can catch the Illini game.
Illini are playing at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning against Michigan State at Champaign. I'm going to go watch them play. Hopefully they'll score some points. Little run for Warrensburg by Ward. He's got a 1st down, it looks like, with 35 seconds to go. Gets it out across the 30-yard line. And they do motion it is a 1st down for Warrensburg, but it's coming too late. 36-20, Clinton with the lead with time running out in the ball game. Well, it's been interesting to do this ball game today, Joe. It's going to be fun trying to pack everything up after the game. We're soaking wet.
There's Brian. He doesn't look very...
Oh, he's looking real good. You knucklehead, I told you to wear a coat. He looks like you. Freeborn will try to sweep it left, then cuts it upfield. Breaks into the clear for a moment, but then they cover it up. It's Josh Wilson who made the play, and that's going to do it. This game is all over. Final score, Warrensburg Latham. The Clinton Maroons defeat the Warrensburg Latham Cardinals by a final score of 36-20. The Maroons still in the running for the playoffs. We'll recap it for you quickly in a moment.